It has been a long season of civil war. Rebel teams striking from various bases won their first victories in the dog days of summer. As these punishing battles stretched through the fall, home teams heroically defended their turf. Some stood, some fell. Now, the strongest warriors congregate in an arena that makes the showdown at Geonosis look like an Ewok picnic.
Told you we should have taken a right at Tatooine, not a left.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
How the heck am I supposed to wear a headset with these things?
Laugh it up, fuzzball. We're going to be late for the 5A championship unless Mr. Cranky Pants here steps on it.
Warp speed fast enough for you, Mr. Smarty?
Help me, Obi-Wan. You're our only hope.
Just use the Force and park in the gold lot already.
Look, I don't tell you which fire hydrants to use.
You don't tell me how to drive. Now, let the game begin.
I said park in the gold lot. What part of gold lot do you not understand? The Glenn Academy Terrors versus the Allatoona Buccaneers. Next.
Time to play some football.
That's a championship team right there.
It's a hot time tonight.
The kids are flashing their lightsabers courtesy of Georgia EMC. As we welcome you to the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. For another Football Friday in Georgia tonight, it's the GHSA 5A State Championship game as the 12-2 Glenn Academy Red Terrors take on the 13-1 Allatoona Buccaneers. And good evening, I'm Matt Stewart, joined by Larry Smith. And Larry, this 5A State final has been a short time yet a long time in the making.
Yeah, it really has. Glenn Academy's mentioned in the Open, as Mark was talking about, as an Open more than 200 years, but hasn't won a state title in over 50 years. Meanwhile, Allatoona, only 8 years in existence, only 6 years of varsity football, and yet here they are trying to bring Cobb County their first ever state championship.
Well, when you talk about Glenn Academy and their success, two names to remember. Number one, their coach, Rocky Hidalgo, who had Walton in the state final in 2011, now has Glenn Academy in the state final in 2015. The other is their quarterback, DJ Dallas, one of the most dynamic players in the country, 24/7 sports composite, 4-star athlete. He's the number 24 ranked junior athlete in the country.
Yeah, he is unbelievable. Watch what this kid does. He's only been quarterback since back in week 5. They have not lost since they put him under center. He is exciting. Rocky Hidalgo said it was a tough choice to make to put him there to take his senior quarterback out. But boy, they have not looked back and haven't lost ever since.
Meantime, Allatoona has survived 2 devastating losses to their 2 star players to reach the final. First, their running back, Russell Halliburton, who's committed to Arizona, tore his ACL in their first-round playoff victory, and then Turner Cockrell, their tight end, committed to Vanderbilt, fractured his ankle last week against Northgate. But the kid with the psychedelic socks, their quarterback, Brandon Rainey, has stepped into the gap.
He has, and we'll talk about those socks during the game, Matt. But yeah, Rainey, look at the numbers right there. 16 touchdowns through the air, 20 more on the ground. He is a dual-threat quarterback, a dual-threat back there. Number 13, certainly very lucky for the Buccaneers.
Well, last year, Allatoona started 13-0 and lost in the semifinals. This year, they lost their opener and then won 13 straight. They'll try to make it 14 straight tonight with Cobb County's first ever state title. The third member of our team is John Nelson, who's been busy today, and he's now down on the sideline.
Good evening, Matt, to you and Larry. Good evening, everyone. However you are accessing us, GPB TV, GPB.org, or the GPB Sports app. Matt, you talked about first time, long time. Let's go back to that long time. The Wayback Machine. The Brunswick News, December 3rd, 1964. Who's next for Glenn Academy? It was Avondale. They knocked off Avondale. That was the last time that Glenn Academy won a state championship. Harold Henderson's crew went undefeated and had only one tie. Adam Wainwright, Glenn Academy grad, spoke to the team before they hit the buses and came up to Atlanta about what it's like to be under the big top and be under big pressure situations. It'll be interesting to see how they go the first half of the first quarter. We'll have the look at what's going on down here for the entire action here in the 5A title. Let's send it back upstairs to light the last Football Friday candle of 2015.
All right, thank you, Nelly. And here's a look at Glenn Academy at 12-2. And look at their last 5 games. All 5 victories have been decided by a touchdown or less. So the Red Terrors have been in tight games, and they have won them. And there is their head coach, Rocky Hidalgo, who I just mentioned. He's 21-6. In his 2 seasons as the Red Terrors head coach. They had not been beyond 2 rounds of the state playoffs in 49 years until Rocky got there. Quarterfinals last year, state finals this year. Allatoona, since their 17-10 East Paulding loss, have won 13 in a row, and they've only had 2 games decided by less than 12 points. And their biggest win, of course, that 59-47 quarterfinal victory over Houston County. And Gary Varner, the only head coach they've had now in their 6th season of varsity football, 8 seasons overall, 71-21, 6 seasons varsity football, 64-12, and he's trying to become just the 3rd coach in 30 years to start a program and lead it to a state title.
First ever meeting between these 2 teams, and both have traveled very well, very loud here at kickoff. Got a couple of great games so far. We'll see what the nightcap brings here at the Georgia Dome.
Glenn Academy wearing the white, Allatoona wearing their gray. Skylar Davis, their sophomore kicker, has it teed up and ready to go. Morris Demery and Randon Jernigan standing deep for the Red Terrors. The 5A final is underway. And that will go through the back of the end zone. And Glenn Academy will start at the 20-yard line. The Red Terrors led by their quarterback. He's number 5. DJ Dallas, a 6-foot, 190-pound junior. 1,139 yards rushing, 13 touchdowns. He's completed 55.6% of his passes for 678, 7 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. And he'll keep it on the first play, and he'll be dropped for a loss. 2-yard loss is Michael Robinson, the leading tackler for Allatoona, makes the first tackle of the ball game. And up front, Zalante Hillary has an offer from Central Michigan. Larson's a 3-year starter, and Farrell preseason All-State. And Garrison Hurd, their top rusher, aside from Dallas, 1,077 yards and 13 total touchdowns on the season. Hurd gets the handoff this time, and Hurd gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage. As we take a look at the Regions Bank starting defense for the Buccaneers, Casey Smith, the defensive end, over 100 tackles on the season. Michael Robinson, team leading 135 tackles on the season. And Raleigh Webb, the safety, has a big assignment. He's got to run that alley today and play a big role in stopping DJ Dallas, 113 tackles and 4 interceptions. 3rd down and 10. And Dallas will throw on the run and throws it out of bounds. Some pressure coming from Michael Robinson. The linebacker forced him to get rid of it before he wanted to. and it's going to be a 3-and-out for Glenn Academy.
Well, watch the replay here. It's a great job here by the Allatoona defense. Watch the pressure, all eyes on number 5, Dallas. Watch this right here. Again, they want to try to get those athletic, big defensive ends in there. Brought a lot of pressure underneath. Forced him inside, of course, to get rid of the ball before he wanted to. Took away the run. Bad throw on the play. That's the defense. A victory for them. 4th down. Allatoona gets the ball first. Next.
Brady Ills stands deep for Allatoona, and Banks Entwistle, the junior, will punt for Glenn Academy. Averages 35 yards per kick. Ills will take it at the 40-yard line, and he'll go down immediately at the 39-yard line. A 39-yard kick, and a great open field tackle by Garrison Hurd.
He got down there in a hurry, but this the advantage here is a punter waited for a moment. They let that coverage get downfield. Hurd takes advantage, already good speed. But that hesitation by the punter when he first got the ball, he didn't punt it right away. He waited for just a beat, just a second, to give that coverage team additional time to get downfield. As a result, the quick tackle by Hurd. Nice job on special teams by Glenn Academy.
So 1st and 10 for Allatoona as they go on offense for the first time from the 39-yard line. Toss goes to Charles Anderson. Charles Anderson has 10 yards on the first carry of the ball game. Trey Salem, the corner, made the tackle, but it came 10 yards downfield.
What an effort right there by the front line, and watch everyone pull in that direction. Great job right here. He's got a good block out front by Jalen Parrish, number 6 right there to help him get started. But the good second effort with all kinds of white shirts draped all around him. That's a great start right there for this Allatoona team and for Mr. Anderson.
And there's the kid in the psychedelic socks. There's their quarterback, Brandon Rainey. Tell you that story in a moment. 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line. Handoff goes. And there's Brandon Rainey right now. Take a look at his numbers. 58.5% completion percentage, 1,579 yards, 16 touchdowns passing, and 20 touchdowns rushing. And psychedelic socks that came from a friend who went to France last summer. She came back. He promised he would wear those socks the entire season.
Well, you can't miss him. You know, Roy's and Warriors on the field no matter what.
2nd down and 9 from the 50. Rainey, no place to run. Gets away. Coming back this way and loses the ball and finally falls on top of it at the 41-yard line. Great job by the linebacker, Hunter Hall, to come up with the strip. And they turn it into a big loss for Allatoona.
Well, that was a really big loss. Boy, what a wild play right here. Rainey tried to pass for the first time. He's got good protection, but a good job by the secondary for Glenn Academy. The Terrors all over all the receivers. Make up for it right here. Well, it would have been a big loss right there, but a 10-yard, 12-yard loss if they got him right there. They didn't. Good strip right there. Number 44, Hunter Hall, the sophomore linebacker. As a result, it's still 3rd and long right now for Allatoona.
Look at that neck roll on that guy. That's old school, 3rd and 18. Looks like a Penn State linebacker. Handoff right up the middle, nothing doing right there. Xavier Clinton making the stop on Charles Anderson. Look at that, right out of Happy Valley. 4th down in a punting situation, a 3-and-out for Allatoona. Well, actually, not a 3-and-out. They picked up a 1st down and then the 3-and-out.
Yeah, but still, how about to start here for both defenses with a nice showing right here at the to open the game here in the first quarter by both sides.
And we'll have a timeout called by Allatoona.
Timeout.
So a timeout on the field
their first timeout.
as Allatoona stands poised to punt 4 minutes into the game.
GHSA Championship is made possible in part by Regions Bank. It's time to expect more. Georgia's Electric Membership Corporation, lighting the way. Technical College System of Georgia, learn more, earn more. Cigna, together all the way. And viewers like you, thank you. The GHSA would like to thank Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance.
Because it's hard. 4 minutes into the game, and Allatoona getting ready to punt after Glenn Academy comes up with some big defensive plays. Where in the world is our Wookiee of the Year? The satellite coordinates are on the screen. Decode them and tweet them to us. Your answer at GPB Sports, hashtag Chewy Unleashed. If you're the first one with the right answer, you'll win an iPad Mini. Include your city and country in your tweet. And you have to include your country because we've had people watching in China.
We have. Just last week, in fact. We are global.
Global Public Broadcast. No, it's Georgia.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Yeah.
The G stands for Georgia, not global. But you can watch it globally. Jernigan fumbles the punt, return, and it is covered again by Jernigan. 31-yard kick right there by Grant Hughes, pardon me. And they were able to avoid disaster right there as Randon Jernigan got on top of that thing.
Yeah, Matt, it looked like they were trying to set up maybe some kind of trick play, maybe a handoff on this, and we're maybe trying to check the replay, but they had two guys back. Watch this. He never squares up, sort of kind of trying to catch the ball on the side like he wanted to go hand the ball off or something. Didn't quite work out. And I tell you, the Terrors lucky to hold on to that. It could have been a disastrous turnover in their own end.
Brandon Jernigan had a 45-yard touchdown catch last week in their 24-16 semifinal win against Ware County. Keeper, DJ Dallas. Not a whole lot of running room right there for DJ Dallas. Alan Johnson, the defensive end, making the tackle.
Well, there's no question. All 11 Buccaneers on defense are watching number 5, and that's the game plan. As he goes, so goes this Glenn Academy team.
Well, there's no question as you have DJ Dallas, who is able to run the ball and is essentially another running back, takes away your man advantage on defense. You got to account for it. Downfield they go. Demery across midfield for a first down at the 46. Norris Demery with a 31-yard reception.
Norris Demery, great job right there. This is a good call right here by the Glenn Academy offense. We'll check the replay on this. Again, all running plays, running. He steps back for a moment, fakes the run, freezes the linebackers. They are able to fall back. You get your receiver back behind the secondary. It's just a great play as they get into Allatoona territory. Outstanding play call right there for the Terrors.
Well, that's one of the things that Gary Varner told us, that they had to honor DJ Dallas's ability to throw. It's not just a running quarterback. And he's going to go down immediately there at the line of scrimmage. Wanye Tarver dropping him for the loss.
That was a good job right there by the secondary.
Wanye Tarver with his 9th tackle for loss this season, and it's 2nd down and 11.
Yeah, nice job right there. He wanted to throw the screen pass with a quarterback out there. Saw it, was in play, would have picked that ball off, busted play. Great job by the defense.
Dallas keeps it again. This time he gets about 2 yards on the play. Alan Johnson with his 2nd tackle of the ball game. DJ Dallas committed to the Georgia Bulldogs on Dog Night back on July 18th and recruited by the interim head coach of the Georgia Bulldogs now, Brian McClendon, and Brian Eckler both recruited him. But of course, Brian McClendon has a connection to Glenn Academy as well. His father, Willie, was one of the star players that came out of Glenn Academy back in the day. And of course, Willie McClendon ended up being SEC Player of the Year when he was at Georgia.
Went on to the Chicago Bears, was the one-time heir apparent to Walter Payton. Had Walter maybe gotten injured, which he did not.
Glenn Academy.
So
The first guard timeout.
Well, look at some of these prolific sports figures that have come out of the halls of Glenn Academy in Brunswick, Georgia.
Wow.
We just mentioned Willie McClendon, who prior to being the father of Brian McClendon, now the interim head coach of the Georgia Bulldogs, was a great Georgia Bulldog himself, as we just elaborated. Davis Love III, great professional golfer. Adam Wainwright, who spoke to the team, and now a member of the St. Louis Cardinals, world champion St. Louis Cardinals during the course of his career. And Kwame Brown, #1 pick in the NBA draft, coming out of Glenn Academy.
That's a pretty nice quartet right there. Glenn Academy, as mentioned in the pregame, the second oldest school in Georgia. 1788 they opened their doors.
3rd down and long. Play gets blown dead.
And I don't think Glenn Academy was set.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
The tight end moved too quickly, took off.
See Chip Huffman, our referee tonight.
Chase Huffman, the field judge. And brothers?
The Huffman brothers working the game.
That's right. A lot of brothers in the Dome this weekend.
Yeah, Glenn Academy has 11 sets of brothers on the roster and 3 sets of twins on their roster. Dallas, oh my goodness, look at him. If he hadn't collided with his own man and then he tosses the ball, but he was down at the 49-yard line. Had he not run into his own man, he might have turned that into a touchdown. I mean, he was an eyelash away from getting out of the hands of 8 different Buccaneers. Watch this.
Yeah, count the gray shirts around him right here. Again, everyone's watching what he's doing. Once he throws the ball, it's not there. Great job by the Buccaneers secondary, but right here, he was gone, Matt, to your point. Number 29 right there, who makes the tackle, was the last person. Kalen Wilkerson was literally the last defender between him and the end zone at that point.
He ran and he brushed shoulders with his offensive lineman. Had the big boy not gotten in the way, Dallas would have scored.
Yeah. Wow.
And the punt is blocked. Will roll across the line of scrimmage and roll dead at the 38-yard line. Turns into a 13-yard kick, but Banks Entwistle has his kick blocked.
Well, Matt, that's the danger. I know he's trying to hold on for a moment. It worked out the last punt. It allows your coverage team to get downfield a bit more. But see, he's waiting. You can't do that because right there you're going to have the guys. The defender's getting closer to you. One more look at it right here. He's going to have to get rid of the ball a little bit earlier. Great job right there. Alan Johnson, one of those big defensive ends for Allatoona making the block.
So a big play by Alan Johnson. And Allatoona takes over at their own 37-yard line. Charles Anderson takes that toss. And Anderson picks up about 4 on the plays. We take a look at the Regions Bank starting lineup for the Buccaneers on offense. And up front, you see the Gibbs brothers, Austin and Parker, on that line of scrimmage. And Charles Anderson has taken over that running back spot, but he'll be spelled tonight by Brandon Archibald. And generally what happens is after they run Anderson a bit and run Archibald a bit, they decide who has the hot hand, and that's the guy who finishes the game. Anderson's still out there. They play action. Flag comes out, probably going to be a hold, and Rainey gets stopped on the run by Preston Joseph, the linebacker.
Yeah, they got a little offense, false start looks like against Allatoona.
And here's a look at the Regions Bank starting lineup for Glenn Academy on defense. The Roberson brothers.
Illegal formation.
Between them, they
on
have
the offense.
over 20 quarterback sacks. Hunter Hall, their leading tackler at the linebacker spot with 113 stops. And Pooh Thomas in the secondary, a 3-year starter, converted outside linebacker with 87 tackles.
Kayshawn Walter, somebody to watch too, will call his number tonight in that secondary for Glenn Academy.
Rocky Hidalgo says he's been lighting people up over the last half of the season. Rainey throws to the outside and incomplete at the 49-yard line. Was looking for Deron Garrett, and it's going to be 4th down, and so Allatoona unable to do anything after blocking that punt.
Impressed with both defenses so far. Good game plan, really keeping both quarterbacks in check.
Number 86, Grant Hughes back in the pocket.
Grant Hughes back out there to kick again.
Flag down.
Demery takes it on the run at the 30-yard line, and let's check the flag, a 28-yard kick.
Demery makes the fair catch at the 30-yard line.
Illegal formation on the offense. That penalty is declined. It'll be a 1st down.
Well, if you've been patiently waiting for the return of Sherlock, you're in for a real treat on New Year's Day. The Abominable Bride, a 90-minute holiday special, is coming to GPB, and the episode features a major twist. It's set in 1890s London. Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman star, along with many other familiar faces from the regular series. It's a new year and new Sherlock. The Abominable Bride premieres Friday, January 1st at 9 p.m. Glenn Academy on offense for the third time. Dallas takes 2 hits in the backfield, is dropped for the loss by Wanye Tarver. Second tackle for loss for Wanye Tarver, number 16.
You know, it looks like really the Buccaneer defense, they're just pinning their ears back and going after Dallas. Watch this. If it's not Dallas, it's Hurd. Dallas keeping the ball right here. Might have wanted to pitch that if he had a chance to do it again. I'd look downfield trying to get a pass away to break this up, because they're just coming right in the backfield right now. And I've been looking to go anywhere else.
Second down from the 11-yard and 11 to go from the 29. It's just the second time they've run Hurd in this ball game. And actually, let's see.
That's Cross.
It was Kendall Cross instead. So they've run Hurd once, and now they've run Cross once, and the rest of the carries have been by Dallas. Kendall Cross, senior, with 309 yards rushing and 7 touchdowns, had a 23-yard touchdown in last week's victory against Ware County. And boy, was that a wild one. They had to hold on for dear life, making a game-saving tackle at the 1-yard line on the final play of the game. Play gets blown dead.
Against Glenn Academy.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, third down.
We've got the guy in the slot right here. Down here, I believe that was Morris Demery that time. Jumps every time. He jumps ahead of time before the ball is snapped. And that's where both those penalties have come for Glenn Academy. He's got to be able to stay in position and wait till that ball is snapped and move in unison with the rest of the team.
Rocky Hidalgo, 9-4 last year in his first season at Glenn Academy. Gone 6-1 in the playoffs with the Red Terrors. 2-1 last year, 4-0 this year. Dallas the keeper, Dallas Stonewall. Well, they're doing a really good job on that zone read and not giving Dallas any running room, and he's shaking up on the play too. He is slow to get up. Allen Johnson with his 4th tackle of the ball game. And Johnson's a big physical kid at linebacker, or defensive end, probably a linebacker at the next level at 6'3", 225 pounds.
Yeah, this is just not what you want. DJ Dallas, your star player down here. We don't know exactly what the injury is. Here's a replay of it again. Matt, like you said, they're doing a great job of just hemming him up, keeping him inside. Look at that, 5 guys right there on him. Can't quite see what the injury is right there, but boy, he is still down.
Let's check in with John Nelson on the sideline.
When you look at that play and you saw the 4 or 5 Allatoona defenders, it was a helmet-to-helmet shot that one of them had that hit DJ Dallas head on. Obviously, he's going to check out for a second. And we'll take another look, and you watch as Dallas ducks his head right there.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, Michael Robinson, their helmets collided. There was nothing illegal about that play, but you're right, Nelly. Dallas lowered his helmet just as Robinson approached, and they bumped heads. Dallas still hurting over there on the sideline.
Yeah, you can see Justin Larson, the senior backup quarterback who was a starting quarterback the first 4 games of the season. He's warming up over there just in case he needs to go in on the next offensive series.
Entwistle to punt. Again, rolls to the right side and kicks a line drive kick. Eels fields it at the 32. Looking for a block on the edge, and then takes a shot at the 40-yard line and goes down. Pooh Thomas making the tackle. 38-yard punt, 7-yard return. Oh my goodness. He doesn't look like he's all there right now. could be the Justin Larson, the young man, the senior quarterback that Rocky Hidalgo said it was so very difficult to tell this young man, you're not going to be the starting quarterback anymore because he'd worked so hard. He's everything that you want in a quarterback. Well, Larson might get his shot here in the state championship game. Rainey rolling, takes a shot as he throws, and it's complete downfield at the 48-yard line. Rainey took a blow, but got the ball downfield to Michael Pines for 12 yards.
Yeah, what a great concentration right there by Rainey. As you said, the defense coming right at him. Great job by both defensive lines right here. And there's your big sophomore linebacker just putting a hit, Hunter Hall, on Rainey, but gets the good follow through, the completion, and a great job right there. Hey, they're in Glenn Academy territory.
1st and 10 at the Glenn Academy 47. Rainey took a shot and a half and still got the ball downfield in time for the first. Two-yard pickup on the play. Again, that's Charles Anderson. We've seen Anderson run exclusively so far here in the first quarter for Allatoona. And what a loss it was for them when they lost Russell Halliman, who'd rushed for 1,543 yards in just 10 games, tore his ACL 4 weeks ago on the opening series of a 52-3 blowout against Winder Barrow. Here in the finals, we're scoreless after 1 quarter.
Providing safe, affordable, and reliable electricity requires more than bucket trucks and utility poles. These are the faces behind your power. For more than 75 years, Georgia's nonprofit, member-owned electric cooperatives have been on a mission to brighten the lives of more than 4.5 million Georgians. We are Georgia's EMCs, proudly serving our members, lighting the way.
You exercise. You choose the salad, occasionally. But staying well, physically, financially, emotionally, is hard on your own. So Cigna's got your back and your knees 24/7. Cigna's there to answer your questions, or when you need some coaching. In sickness and in health, Cigna's there, helping you to get well and stay well. That's having a partner who's with you all the way. Cigna.
Nothing prepares you better for a great career than the Technical College System of Georgia. TCSG colleges produce graduates with the knowledge and training today's top employers are looking for. With campuses across Georgia, state-of-the-art facilities, and outstanding instructors with real-world experience, it's the kind of affordable college education that will fast-track you into a rewarding career. We're building a better future for you. Contact the TCSG college in your area today or go to tcsg.edu.
Hi folks, Butch Miller from Milton Martin Honda in Gainesville, wishing you and yours a Merry Christmas and the happiest of New Years. But if you think that the folks at Milton Martin Honda in Gainesville are proud to be supporters of Georgia high school athletics,
You got that right.
The GHSA Football Championship games continue all day, right here, only on GPB.
Welcome back to the Georgia Dome for the 2015 Tommy Guillebeau GHSA Football Championships, brought to you under the big top after the first 12 minutes. Stone cold tied. Glenn Academy and Allatoona are scoreless. Taking a look at DJ Dallas on the sidelines. They are doing range of motion. They are doing a lot of massage, as you see right there. I would say no official word from the sidelines, but it's questionable right now. You know that Dallas wants to come back in the game, and he's told the coaching staff as much, Matt and Larry, but right now other folks are warming up on the sidelines. I'm not too optimistic on DJ Dallas.
Yep, you're right, and Larson warming up on that sideline for Glenn Academy. He could be coming in when we start this second quarter for Glenn Academy. First, it's 2nd down and 8 for Allatoona. They've got the ball at the Red Terrace 45 as we start this second quarter.
And you see Larson's numbers. It wasn't so much that he didn't do the job. It was simply, as Coach Hidalgo said, we had one of the top 5 players in the country who's only touching the ball 5 times a game. That's why they made the job, made the change. Larson's certainly capable of leading this offense.
Charles Anderson, his 5th carry of the ball game, and Anderson gets out of the grasp and lunges forward for about 3 yards on the play. Kendall Cross making the tackle. Anderson with 5 carries in the ball game, now north of 20 yards. Only 64 yards of total offense for both teams combined in that first quarter, and every possession of the first quarter ended in a punt.
Yeah, well, how about both teams combined 0 for 5 on third down? I mean, this has been a defensive struggle right now. Both defenses doing a great job. Here's another shot right here at 3rd and 4.
Doesn't get to the first down line. He gets stopped at the 40, picked up only 1 yard on the play. Pooh Thomas making that tackle for Glenn Academy. And I don't see him running out the punter.
Well, you know what? Great job right here by Glenn Academy and just getting great penetration. Really, again, both defensive lines doing an outstanding job of staying home, not getting caught up. Really reading the offense, stopping the play in the backfield. Big play right here.
4th down and 3. I think they're just trying to pull him offside, and they've been unsuccessful at doing that. Allatoona calls a timeout.
Timeout. Allatoona, their second charge timeout.
So that leaves them with 1 with 10.5 minutes to play in the half. Allatoona in the state final, and this just their 6th year of varsity football. And Gary Varner told us, you know, the kids don't really understand just how incredible it is that they've reached this level so fast. To them, it's just kind of their reality. It's just the way things are. As you take a look at the progressions they have made, they've been to 2 quarterfinal finishes against in 2011, 2012. Last year reached the semifinals, losing to eventual state champion Northside Warner Robins. And here they are a year later playing for the state championship. In all 6 years of varsity football, they've made the state playoffs.
That's impressive. You know, he was really talking about, you know, as you mentioned before, he's been there all 8 years. That he said the first 3 years of football, just trying to establish a culture.
Yep.
And certainly they have a winning culture there with all the playoff appearances every year. Now trying to take it to the next level.
Learned a lot. He was there when they started up the program at Kell, and then he went to Roswell, worked with Tim McFarland. And Rainey's going to take a sack back at the 47-yard line. Preston Joseph with his 7th sack of the season.
Boy, what a big play right there by Joseph. And again, the great push by the defensive line of Glenn Academy. Watch this again right here. Coming out from this side over here. Here he comes in. Number 32 just avoids the block. Great dip under swim move to get past the block there. Get away from number 66, Carter Francis. That's a great play right there. And really, again, gives Glenn Academy a great field position as, again, it is... It's like
Dallas is out there.
Dallas is in the game.
Yeah. You know, that's a decision that Varner might regret. They'd hemmed up these guys, and now you give them good field position.
Yeah. Trick play.
And the ball is fumbled, and Allatoona might be on top of it.
I think Glenn Academy got it. Boy. Job right there. Number 63 is the guy who fell on it.
They were going to have
Thomas.
Yeah, they were going to have Garrison Hurd throw the pass. Danny Tessler, the linebacker, hit him and stripped him. But fortunately for Glenn Academy, they get back on top of it.
Yeah, great job right here. He's lining up for it. But again, the great push already right now. Look at the gray shirts all around him. He never gets a chance to set up to throw the ball. Great push again by the defensive front on both teams. Great job by Allatoona there.
It's one of the offensive linemen that got on top of that thing. He took a 13-yard loss on that play, and then the stuffo, and now it's going to be 3rd down and long.
Yeah, well, you know, Matt, here's the thing. Glenn Academy, again, they're undefeated with DJ Dallas as your quarterback. Going up the middle right now is not working for you. The one play that worked for you was when he threw the ball downfield. You got to find a way to get the ball out in space. Throw it out in the field, out, you know, or throw it back to him, but get Dallas in some space where he can run and make something happen.
3rd down and 22. Allatoona brings a blitz. They throw. It is complete at the 45-yard line, but well short of the first down. That is a penalty flag on the play as well. Ryan Johnston,
illegal
the tight
formation
end, just his 4th catch
on
of the
the
season.
offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay third down.
They're going to replay the third down. They'll erase that completion.
Yeah, it's the same thing happening. It's a guy on the outside jumping. That's the 3rd time already it's happened in this game, and we're just 3 minutes.
Penalty
into the
is declined.
That's the kind of play I'm talking about. It's too little for a third and and a mile right now.
Well, they're going to decline the penalty. They're going to take the completion, but now it's going to be 4th down, and they'll have to punt. So the decision to go for it on 4th down does not hurt Allatoona. The flip side of what I just said was, I said they've been doing a good job stopping them. Don't give them good field position. Well, you just stopped them anyway, so you're going to get the ball back. Yeah. So it didn't hurt them.
Good to see Dallas healthy and in the game.
Or at least in the game. Don't know.
We hope.
Don't know how healthy he is.
Yeah.
Assume that he is. He's back out there. He's got to be hurt. Entwistle. Line drive kick. Eels takes it on one hop. And Eels goes down immediately at the 16-yard line. Trey Salem was right there on top of him when he grabbed the ball. And so Allatoona, poor field position as they go back on offense. You take a look at Glenn Academy. They lost to Northside Warner Robins too. So as it is, the 2015 finalists both lost to the eventual state champions last year in the playoffs. First Glenn Academy in the quarters, and then of course Allatoona in the semis. And then, as I told you, before Rocky Hidalgo got there, they had never gotten beyond 2 rounds of the state playoffs in 49 years, going back to 1964. So that list could go on for a long, long time, and you're not going to see anything but 1st and 2nd round losses. And a lot of years that they didn't make the playoffs. Brandon Archibald gets his first carry of the night, and it is for a loss on the tackle by Kendall Cross.
Well, the thing is, both these teams are running on 1st down without any success, and so it really changes your game plan now. Once again, just like we saw with Glenn Academy, Allatoona now is 2nd and long. They lost 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 12. You don't get anything, it's going to be 3rd and long. That changes what you can do. I'd love to see him just throw the ball 3 straight times. Both rushing offenses, but break it up. Try to get it outside and try to make something happen and give this defense something else to think about.
Handoff, Archibald. He gets submarined by Kayshawn Walthour back at the original line of scrimmage, and now it's 3rd down and long. Hard to imagine, Larry, that here we are in 2015 in a Cobb County school that still never won a state championship. The last to try, well, the guy over on the Glenn Academy sideline. Rocky Hidalgo was the head coach at Walton in 2011. They lost to Grayson. Harrison, led by Bruce Cobley, he'll be on the Roswell sideline tomorrow as an assistant coach. Well, they tried and lost in 2000. McEachern in 1998. Wheeler, 1973. North Cobb, 1959. Ackworth in 1957. None of those teams.
Timeout. Allatoona, the 3rd and final timeout of the half.
Allatoona trying to break the drought here in 2015. 6:55 to play in the half. We're still scoreless at the Georgia Dome. .55 to play here in the half. Allatoona and Glenn Academy were locked in a scoreless struggle. See one of America's great traditions with the lighting of the National Christmas Tree. Host Reese Witherspoon joins President Obama and his family, plus performances from musical guests Fall Out Boy, Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and more. It's the National Christmas Tree lighting this Thursday at 9 p.m. You know what? When they're done, they can come put my tree up and light it too. Still haven't done that yet.
Yeah, that's an exciting replay of the lighting that happened last Thursday out there on the ellipse just behind the White House. But I got to see that live for the first time, man. It was pretty cool. So definitely should watch.
3 total first downs in this game and 6 punts.
In a quarter and a half, almost.
Allatoona, 3rd down now and 9. Rainey to the air, and that is complete for a first down to Garrett. Deron Garrett with the first down catch at the 33-yard line. 12-yard pickup as they move the sticks.
Yeah, 3rd first down for the Buccaneers. As you mentioned, the 4th in the game. Nice job right here. Again, get out in space. You've got, I mean, boy, they're bringing 5-6 guys every single time, and they're all in the backfield. Get the ball out there. Rainey, 16 touchdown passes on the season, 20 on the ground. He's got the arm to get it out there. Make it happen. I'd love to see we haven't had a pass on a first down yet this entire game. I'd love to see that right here from Allatoona.
First catch of the ball game for Garrett. It's 1st and 10 now at the 28. Rainey's a tough kid. He took a shot and delivers it. A strike over on the far sideline to Eels. Eels, their leading receiver, or close to being their leading receiver. That's his 17th catch of the season, just one behind Hines.
Well, good job by Rainey right here. Once again, just a missed assignment right there. 2 guys in the backfield right away. Rainey running for his life. Good athletic quarterback. Nice throw right there. And a great catch with his favorite receiver. Positive yards and a first down. It's been rare in this game.
Gary Varner says Rainey never gave up on being the quarterback. He was in a battle for the starting job as a junior in preseason, lost it. He played wide receiver last year. Toss to Archibald, and Hunter Hall makes the tackle. 2nd tackle of the night for Hunter Hall, and it's going to be 3rd down and 4. Hall with a team-leading 113 total tackles entering the ball game for the 6', 200-pound sophomore.
And just a sophomore. He's got great instincts. He reminds me of like a Brian Urlacher. He's everywhere.
3rd down and 4. Rainey lofts it up and nearly intercepted by Wallflower, and it's going to be 4th down. Jalen Parrish, the fullback, was the intended target, and another failed 3rd down conversion for Allatoona.
I still think we're still over with both teams on 3rd downs.
No, they got one. They get the
one.
pass.
That's on the pass.
Yeah.
That's right. They get the one. That's the one.
They're 1 for 4.
That's right. But Allatoona's got to figure out how to shore up that offensive line right now, because, boy, Glenn Academy is just, they're in the backfield every single play.
Grant Hughes, the punt. And Caden Cruz calls the fair catch after a 28-yard kick. So Glenn Academy goes back on offense with just under 5 minutes to play here in the first half.
DJ Dallas is in the huddle there on the sidelines talking to coach. Helmet on, he's still in the game.
Well, you can see why Rocky Hidalgo made that change.
Yeah.
As you pointed out, one of the best athletes in the country, and when he was playing wide receiver, maybe touched the ball 5 times a game. He touches the ball on every play. That increases your odds of scoring. Hurd on the carry. Garrison Hurd pulls his way for close to a first down at the 47-yard line. Sorrells making the tackle.
Oh, great play right here. Gets good blocking. Up front, nice job right there.
Oh, man, that's a punish and run right there.
That is.
He ran right through Raleigh Webb. Hurd, Mr. Glenn Academy.
Yeah, said he's got a great smile. Big man on campus.
Yep. And people say he's a lot more athletic than they realize, and he usually makes them pay for that mistake. That's a first down carry for Hurd right there. So 1st and 10, ball at the 48.
Just their 2nd first down this entire game.
So we asked Rocky Hidalgo kind of an obvious question. This program was forgotten. Glenn Academy never made much waves, certainly not on the state level, and now all of a sudden they're in the state finals.
Handoff goes to Hurd again, and Hurd bashes his way down to the 45-yard line. So we ask Rocky, the secret to your success, he says, really no secret at all. It's just kids believing in hard work and doing it.
Yeah, it said, we came down here and just gave them something that they could believe in, and they bought in, and they've done that. You mentioned the quarterfinal appearance last year, the state finals this year. It's the kids right now, and maybe trying to, a couple of positive plays right here. Maybe just now beginning to kind of get some of the kinks out and kind of get rid of themselves right now.
2nd down and 3. Garrison Hurd starting to get cranked up, and he runs for another first down. So, and I think that this has a lot to do with DJ Dallas, because you got to keep your eyes on him. You got to have a man account for him. And so that's opening things up a little bit. In the first quarter, they were letting Dallas keep that ball, and they were swarming on him. Give the ball to Hurd and let him punish the defense. That has been an effective strategy here in the second quarter.
Yeah, in the first quarter, only 2 runs by somebody not named DJ Dallas. One by Hurd, one by Cross. Hurd now has made it happen, and now it's Hurd again.
And that hit that DJ Dallas took that took him to the sideline, that might have been, in an odd way, a blessing in disguise, because now they've gotten away from him running the ball, and maybe for physical reasons as much as strategic, but it's working in their favor right now.
Yeah, it really is. 2nd down and 4. Again, like you said, back-to-back first downs. Only 1 first down the entire game before this series, but now back-to-back, and they're actually moving the ball for the first time. Have not had a negative play on offense in this series.
Prior to this series, they'd had only 1 play go for more than 5 yards. That's Cross on the carry. Cross, man, there's some hitting going down in between those tackles, but he is able to get close to the first down yardage as Wanye Tarver made the tackle. And Cross is put together pretty good at 5'10", 200.
Yeah, he is. Boy, what great footwork right there. You know how hard it is to spin one way, get hit, spin the other way, and still keep moving forward? That was a very well-earned 2 yards right there on that play.
3rd down and 2. Cross does not get to the sticks. He got stopped that time. Big-time defensive play by Raleigh Webb.
You see Hurd come back in now. They're going to go for it on 4th down, and why not? We'll call a timeout and talk about it. That's their 2nd timeout.
Timeout.
Well, their kicker, Banks Entwistle,
their 2nd charge timeout.
Rocky Hidalgo says has a range of 47, and that's about what this kick would be right here. And here's what Rocky Hidalgo had to say to his guys before they took the field here at the Georgia Dome.
I'm going to tell y'all a couple things right now. Love you guys. Mean that. Told y'all that from the get-go here. Love y'all. I am proud of you. I am proud of what you've accomplished. I'm proud of who you are and who you've become. You live and prove, men, that if you believe in something, you can make it a reality. All your hard work has made this possible. The only thing I got to tell you is left on this. You got 48 minutes. Come out here, play your tails off, and win this football game. You understand? Hey, look, enjoy this, man. Enjoy this.
Inspiring speech from Rocky Hidalgo, who says he loves it at Glenn Academy. It's such a cross-section from all walks of life at that school. You've got the folks that have the stuff. They live beachfront, Sea Island, and they got some folks there not so fortunate, but they pull together as a community, as a team, and that is why this program has been so successful.
Yeah, he really talked a lot about that this season. He loves the fabric and some
of the snap. False start.
False start there, that's going to hurt.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty.
They may kick the ball. But yeah, Matt, to your point, he was talking to us and said, even some of the wealthier families have pseudo-adopted some of the kids who maybe don't have as much. And he said he's never had a team come together and really just play as a team of brothers, look out for each other and support each other.
Well, they're going to try a long field goal here. This is not a bad call because, remember, if you miss, the ball comes out to the 20, so it's kind of like a punt. This is a 52-yard attempt by August Bowers, and the kick is blocked.
So August Bowers with his first field goal attempt of the season. A 52-yard attempt that was blocked in the line of scrimmage, and we remain scoreless.
Well, how daunting is that for this young man? First kick of the season in the Georgia Dome for the state championship. Just enough of it there blocked. Looked like that.
Michael
Robinson, the linebacker. Yeah, got a piece of that.
So Michael Robinson with the block kick. That's the second kick that they have blocked tonight. They blocked a punt and they blocked a field goal.
So they're real active, physical, quick on defense. Both these teams are. Now let's see Altoona move the ball a little bit before so they can try to get something with their worst starting position with 97 seconds to go until halftime.
Ball at the 6-yard line, so it was not a terrible decision by Rocky Hidalgo to try that. Since the kick was blocked, it rolled dead at the 6-yard line. That was probably better than any punt they could have tried.
You're right.
Seriously.
No, you're right. I agree.
So it turns out to be a golden decision for Hidalgo. They tried for 3, kind of a prayer. If we don't get it, the worst it'll be the 20-yard line. As it turned out, it was better than that.
Yeah.
Down to a minute to play here in the first half, pardon. Nothing doing for Rainey.
Curious to see if they'll call a timeout, and they will. Rocky Hidalgo calls a timeout. It's his last one left. Trying to get the ball back here if they can. Stop the clock for 52 seconds left. As soon as they ran that ball,
Glenn Academy.
He ran out.
It's their last timeout.
To the number marker right there. Try to call that timeout out onto the field.
And here's what Gary Varner had to say to his kids before they took the field.
Hey, there's no magic. There's no magic words, right? We know what we're supposed to do. Everybody understands? Yes, sir. Guys, we are physical, play physical. Everybody got that? Yes, sir.
And that's what they've done. And Gary Varner says he does not give a big locker room speech. He's never done it. He said, if my kids aren't ready to play, when it's time to go out on the field, then we're in trouble. If I got to give a speech, then we're in trouble. So Varner doesn't do what most coaches do. You know, most coaches, they got the one last rally speech. All he had to say to him was like, man, be physical. Play physical, we're physical, play physical. They've done that tonight.
Yeah, they really have. They've been really dominated on both sides of the line. There's no question about it. And it's funny. He just told him, he said, hey, I'm going to tell him, just prepare for the game the best you can. We're out and play our very best. And we'll let the outcome happen as it's going to.
And try not let the week be any different, although he says that's impossible, especially from his end. 3rd down and 8. Rainey throwing. No, instead going to try to get to the edge, and he's not going to be able to, and he was fumbling as he went out of bounds. And again, it was Hunter Hall with a big hit. That's the second time that Hunter Hall has separated the ball carrier from the ball.
Well, man, and that's a huge play, because if he holds on to the ball, the clock is running. But here's one more look at it right here.
You're right, he'd been down in the field to play, and the clock would keep running.
Yeah, instead, Hunter Hall, great pursuit right here. He fumbles the ball, goes out of bounds. That means the clock is stopped, because see, Glenn Academy, both teams are out of timeouts. Now Glenn Academy will get the ball back with about 35 seconds to go in decent field position. That's a big play by the Glenn Academy defense and Hunter Hall.
Good call right there, and the kick by Hughes is going to be fair caught by Demery at the 39-yard line. So now they've got 36 seconds, no timeouts remaining, and they probably need to get about 15 yards realistically to get into field goal range here. Maybe just 10.
Illegal motion here.
Illegal motion on the offense. That penalty is declined.
Well, you don't want to make them kick again.
Right.
I mean, you might get better field position,
but you burn 6-7 seconds.
You burn valuable time too. So
him coming off the start,
you'll keep the time in your pocket and go on offense here with 36 seconds to play in the half.
But
and probably needing probably about 12 yards
at least
down there, like we
to
did
get
earlier.
into field goal range. For Banks Entwistle, who's kicked a long of 48 this year and is 7 of 12 on the season, but on the 52-yard attempt, they did not bring him out. Instead, they tried August Bowers.
So let's see now what Glenn Academy can do.
Glenn looks a little confused as they are slow to get from the sideline out on the field.
Oh, yeah, we've got a little different lineup right here.
What kind of formation
What
is this? Oh, it's going to be a free kick. It's a free kick. That's what it is, John.
If you call a fair catch off a punt, you can free kick, and that's what this situation is. A lot of coaches will do it for the last play of a half or a quarter, and we're seeing it right now under the dome.
So August Bowers will try a 49-yard kick. Interesting. Kick is on its way, and it is good. No, it hit the upright. No good. Oh, he had plenty of distance, but it hit the upright.
Oh, man.
So Alatuna gets the ball back at the 20. I was really surprised because I've seen free kicks before, but never with this much time on the clock.
Right. Boy, he had great distance on this. Look at this ball.
Well, it's almost like a kickoff.
Yeah.
He had plenty of distance, and it hit the upright. I'd give him stars for that.
I do.
I mean,
I do too.
That's a crafty decision right there. I just had never seen it with 39 seconds or 36 seconds to play. Like John explained, usually it's like there's no time left on the clock and you try something like that. So interesting. Virtually no time left on the clock as Alatuna goes back on offense at the 20-yard. And they'll just take a knee, so it worked well. Nothing lost.
No.
It could have been a lot gained.
Yep.
Wow, so an interesting end to the first half with Glenn Academy trying a free kick, something that you don't see but maybe once every 2 or 3 years, if that much. That's the end of the first half. A scoreless first half here at the Georgia Dome. A scoreless first half between an Alatuna team that averages 39 points per game and a Glenn Academy team that averages 25 points per game.
Boy, what a first half. That's unbelievable. Just you saw a little bit of offense in the second quarter, but really this was winning. This is both defenses just doing an outstanding job.
So let's go down to John Nelson. He's standing by with Rocky Hidalgo.
Okay, I bet you can't guess what my first question is going to be about. What went through your mind with the free kick?
We need some points. Nobody's scoring any, and that right now that was the best chance we had. So, oh hell, it was worth a shot.
And defensively, this is in the trenches, and you guys are just trading haymakers right now.
Yeah, it's a, you know, for a lot of people, it's probably a boring game. But if you're an old defensive coach like me, you're getting your money's worth.
All right, go get him in the second half.
Thank you.
Rocky Hidalgo, head coach of Glenn Academy, tried the free kick, hit the post. That's as close as we got to offense here in the first 24 minutes. Let's send it over to the bridge with Princess Jackie.
Gotta appreciate the honesty. Gotta appreciate the honesty there. They needed some points, so why not try it?
Yep, it's been a defensive struggle all the way along. Well, coming up at halftime, we'll hear from both marching bands, both Altoona and Glenn Academy. Plus, we'll talk to both principals and see what's going on at their schools during this championship week.
Also, we'll hear from some proud parents who are very proud of their champion out there on the field. Also, we'll check in with social media. Do we have a winner for Chewy Unleashed? We might. We'll let you know as we come back in just a few minutes. That and more coming up on the GPB Halftime Show. Stay with us.
This program on GPB is made possible in part by supporters of the Georgia High School Association, including the following.
This isn't just any team. This is your home team, okay? It's not about A team or B team. It's not about your boss telling you to be a team player or to take one for the team. No, home team is about pride. It's about standing strong, pulling together, and going crazy about a bad call you know is right. But because it was against your home team, it must be wrong. Look, some people just don't get it because it's not their team. But Farm Bureau Insurance does, because everyone needs a home team for insurance, and we are that.
It is a great night for high school football all over the great state of Georgia. Down south, a big game. Get the offense going, team. Let's go.
It is good. The GHSA Football Championship games continue all day, only on GPB.
During this performance,
one student will drop out of high school. Be there for your big finish.
Whether you plan to attend a 2-year college, 4-year university, or go straight into the world of work, the Georgia CTAE Work-Based Learning Program teaches students essential career skills through real-world experiences and on-the-job training.
Welcome back to GPB Sports. It is GHSA Championship weekend here at the Georgia Dome, and we are at the half of the third and final game of the first day's action. Glenn Academy taking on Allatoona, and so far nobody scored, but there's been a lot of good defensive play.
Right, and sometimes those are the best games to watch. The defenses sometimes win it for you. We want to make sure that you're not just sitting at home watching the game. We want you to interact with us on social media, so make sure you find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat at GPB Sports. Not only do we want to hear from you and show you your own photos on the air, but we have a lot of contests going on, and trust me, you don't want to miss out. All right, that was our Chewy, and he can run, but he can't hide. We do have a winner. Someone has decoded the coordinates of his last destination. That would be Bren Shepard. He tracked him all the way to Labrador City, Canada. We're guessing that he was expecting to see a lot of dogs there, but humans currently are in charge. Congratulations to Bren on that. You will be getting your mini iPad to call your own, and iPads are provided by the Georgia Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math educators, part of 127 career pathways available to Georgia high school students. School counselors have all of the details, and you can learn more at gadoe.org. So also we want to let you, here we go. This is proof right here. Chewy hanging out in Labrador City, Canada. That's awesome. Also, we want to don't let you forget that you can tweet us at GPB Sports and use the hashtag Dome Wars. Let us know who you're rooting for or who you're watching tonight. And also, the best photos will win a selfie stick. And we know that everyone's all about selfie sticks these days. We have Chris here watching from Boston, says, wouldn't miss my home state's championship weekend. Can't wait to see my alma mater play in it next year. Then we have John, who is an alumni of Glenn Academy, saying, go Glenn Academy, watching from Brunswick, Georgia. This hat is from back in the 90s. Well, talk about a flashback Friday. Don't forget to use the hashtag Dome Wars when you're interacting with us. And as I said earlier, the best photos will end up on the air here. You have a chance to win a selfie stick, so that's awesome. Also, we'll have more details on the Chewy Unleashed later on in the show, but for now, just tell us who you're rooting for, who you're the most pumped up to see tonight on Facebook and Twitter. Find us at GPB Sports. You can also follow us on Snapchat at GPB Sports and see all the behind-the-scenes action. And you don't want to forget to download the app in the App Store. It's completely free, and you can stream this game live, so make sure that you do that.
A lot of excitement there in the first half. It is no score, but lots of great defensive play. Time now to check in with John Nelson. He is once again in the principal's office. Time to play that game that's taking the Galaxy by storm. Are you smarter with the principal of Glenn Academy, Scott Spence?
Yes, we are here with first name Mr., last name Spence, and you were watching the band just a second ago, but what's going on at one of the oldest schools in the country?
Well, actually, Glenn Academy is the 5th oldest high school in the nation and the 2nd oldest high school in the state of Georgia. We were founded in 1788. We have a proud tradition of academics, athletics, and the arts. You can see that going on behind us right now, and you can see that going on in this field tonight.
All right, it is time to play the game, Sweeping the Galaxy as we know it, and it has been brought in via lightsaber. There we go. Here we go. Do you miss the David Letterman show as much as we do here at Football Fridays? You may remember that every year about this time, band leader Paul Schaefer would offer his famous impersonation of which singer singing which classic Christmas carol. Is it A, Dolly Parton singing The Little Drummer Boy, B, Cher singing Oh Holy Night, or C, Reba McEntire singing Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer?
Well, I've probably watched the David Letterman show 3 times in my life, and so I will go with C.
It is B, I believe. It is Reba McEntire, and sorry, it's B. It is Cher singing "Oh Holy Night," if I can get my card squared away. And here is a sample of what it used to be. Offering this clip of one of Paul's many performances over the years, Paul Schaefer singing. Actually, I'm not even going to try to sing it this time. Thanks for hanging out with us. Good luck in the second half.
Yes, sir.
One round of Are You Smarter Down. One coming up in just a second. No, I will not sing this time.
Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. All right, John, thanks very much. We'll go from the Paul Schaefer Band to a really, really, really good band, the Red Terror Marching Band from Glenn Academy, brought to you by Regions Bank. The Glenn Academy Marching Band is getting ready and getting assembled there, as you see. The school was founded back in 1788. As the principal said, it's the 5th oldest high school in this country. It's the 2nd oldest in the state of Georgia. Let's listen in now. Great job by the Marching Red Terror Band of Glenn Academy, brought to you by Regions Bank. Now time to play another edition of what we call Rent Check, where we check in with the parents, and Jackie is down on the field with a couple of very proud parents. Jackie?
They are very proud. The Rainey family is joining me now. We've got Stephanie, Bridget, and Jason. Their family member is Brandon out there for Allatoona. So far it's scoreless, but that's okay. You guys still excited?
Still excited, fired up.
All right, they are ready to go. So what is Brandon's favorite thing about football?
I would say the love and camaraderie that he has with his teammates.
Okay, she got that really easily. Did y'all study last night? That was it. That's it. The relationships he builds with the coaches and the team. Okay. Favorite way to spend time in the off season?
Fishing.
It is fishing. Correct. All right. And his least favorite song, his least favorite Christmas song?
Boy.
Silent Night.
Jingle Bell Rock. It's okay. You got 2 right. All right. Favorite present he's ever received?
I would say, I know this one.
Okay.
The cross necklace that his sister bought him and sent to him in the mail.
Is that right? Oh my gosh, that's right. Sent to him in the mail. That is so nice. From Michigan State?
Yes.
Oh, cool, because you're away at college. Awesome. That's correct. Okay, we're going to give you some GPB swag here. And you get, yeah, the girls owned this one, Mark. Good job, guys. Mark, we'll send it back to you.
That's a great job and a very nice gift. Let me tell you, coming up, there's more on the GPB Championship Weekend halftime show. We will hear from the Allatoona Marching Band, plus play another round of Are You Smarter with the Allatoona principal. Plus, we'll check out today's scoreboard and tomorrow's championship lineup. 4 big games tomorrow. It's all coming up next as the GHSA Championship Weekend continues live on GPB, continues live from the Georgia Dome, continues live right here on the
Strong, stable bank. Regions is always looking for opportunities to boost the vitality of our communities. In addition to offering financial solutions for our customers, we are committed to supporting local initiatives and organizations that help our neighborhoods thrive. Regions is proud to be a partner with GPB in building a better Georgia.
Hi folks, Butch Miller from Milton Martin Honda in Gainesville, wishing you and yours a Merry Christmas and the happiest of New Years. But if you think that the folks at Milton Martin Honda in Gainesville are proud to be supporters of Georgia High School athletics,
you got that right.
You exercise. You choose the salad, occasionally. But staying well, physically, financially, emotionally, is hard on your own. So Cigna's got your back and your knees 24/7. Cigna's there to answer your questions, or when you need some coaching. In sickness and in health, Cigna's there, helping you to get well and stay well. That's having a partner who's with you all the way. Cigna.
Stay connected to your team like never before with the GPB Sports Football app. Get the latest news. Watch featured games live wherever you
Sammy
are.
Williams finds a hole.
Look at that, look at that.
Find relevant info on schools and take interactive 3D tours of stadiums around the state. Tweet game highlights from the stands and get up-to-the-minute scores all Friday night. The Gridiron has gone digital. Download the free GPB Sports Football app from the iTunes App Store now.
It should be one whale of a football game tonight.
This program on GPB is made possible in part by supporters of the Georgia High School Association, including the following.
This isn't just any team. This is your home team, okay? It's not about A team or B team. It's not about your boss telling you to be a team player or to take one for the team. No, home team is about pride. It's about standing strong, pulling together, and going crazy about a bad call you know is right. But because it was against your home team, it must be wrong. Look, some people just don't get it because it's not their team. But Farm Bureau Insurance does, because everyone needs a home team for insurance, and we are that.
Welcome back to the 2015 GHSA Football Championship Halftime Show live on GPB. We're midway through the Class 5A Public School Championship game, the third and final game of this first day of competition. And right now it is 0-0.
I know, it's just the first day. Very important to let everyone know. Now we're going to check in with John Nelson, who's in familiar territory, the principal's office, with the Allatoona principal, John Kelly, for another round of the game that's sweeping the nation. Are you smarter, John?
Yeah, obviously it's another round for me here in the principal's office. First name Mr., last name Kelly. So what's going on at Allatoona these days?
Well, it's been a great fall semester for us. Our Fine Arts Department has done a lot of great things. Our band's performing right now, and they've had a great opportunity to participate in a national competition. A great job. Our one-act play was state champs earlier this semester. Tomorrow morning we have our Shot with a Buck. Tomorrow morning, about 100 kids that we'll serve, and about 400 of our kids taking care of our community. It's just it's a great time to be a Buck.
Good deal. All right, it's time to play the game sweeping the nation or the galaxy. Brought in via lightsaber. Here is the question. On the 7th day of Christmas, and no, I'm not going to sing this, my true love gave to me, was it A, 7 pipers piping, 7 geese a-laying, 7 swans a-swimming?
It's hard to remember that, not going all the way back down. I think it was 7 pipers piping, if I remember correctly.
It was C, 7 swans a-swimming.
That's too tricky. I didn't get to count them down.
7 swans a-swimming. Bonus points if you know what those 7 swans represent. It's the 7 sacraments as determined by the Catholic Church. Pax Vobiscum. Good to see you.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
All right, let me get rid of the questions. Another round of Are You Smarter survived by both of us. We'll send it back up to the bridge.
I thought it was Piper's piping too.
Well,
I can't blame him on that one. All right, let's strike up another great band performance going on right now by the Allatoona High Marching Band, brought to you by Regions Bank. Let's listen in.
That's a great job done right there by the Allatoona Marching Band, brought to you by Regions Bank. All right.
All right, let's take a look at where we are so far during the day. We have 2 games are over, and 1 more battle is underway right now. Earlier today was Clinch County defeating Irwin County 24-7, and then it was a nail-biter with Westminster taking the title 38-31 over Blessed Trinity, and right now we are scoreless as Glenn Academy and Allatoona battle it out.
And then tomorrow, get up bright and early at 10 a.m., have breakfast with us. It's going to be the big single-A private school game between Eagles Landing Christian Academy's Chargers and the Fighting Irish of Aquinas. The 2A game starts around 1 p.m. with the Pace Academy Knights taking on the Purple Hurricane of Fitzgerald. Then at 4:30, a tremendous game, undefeated 14-0 Cartersville taking on 13-1 and the defending champs, the Buford Wolves. And then it gets maybe even better at 8 o'clock, the nightcap, the 6A showdown between defending champ Colquitt County and the Roswell Hornets in a battle of unbeatens. And now we bring in a man who needs no introduction, but I'll introduce him anyway.
That's what I figured.
John Nelson for John's Georgia, brought to you by
Georgia EMC.
And where did you head?
It is a story about a coaching tree that ends up flowering in its own backyard. Take a look.
Myself, Bob Finch, Reuben Haynes, Lamar Bowles, Chas Hardy, Nick Ladd.
Of the 8-person staff that coaches at Commerce High, those 6 head coach Michael Brown just named are local. They're all hometown proud. And they all learned under one coach, 42-year middle school coach Jimbo Stevenson. Jimbo recently retired, but that doesn't mean he isn't still watching, and the CHS coaches haven't forgotten their lessons that Jimbo gave them day one.
And I let them know the community's looking at them to see what the future of Commerce football is going to be. And, that's just something I tell them from the very first day. And, they can see the pride I have in Commerce football. I'm a Commerce boy and born here and been here all my life and taught here since 1973, and it's just a great experience right here with you.
He always made sure that every kid had a valuable part to play in the team. They always got into the game, found a way that kid could contribute, and he never ever embarrasses the other team.
The impact he's had on my life and on the lives of other former players, it's just unheard of, really, to have a coach that's been at one place for as long as he has, and he continued to impact the lives of young men coming up and playing on the football field.
When you walk up to Jimbo, he has always just thought of himself as a middle school football coach, nothing more, even if the 6 men on the Commerce sideline disagree.
And he's just done such a fabulous job investing in the lives of kids at that age. Just been a tremendous influence on them, not only through the game of football, but outside of that, his integrity, his character. You can't say enough about him. So, I would say that Coach Jimbo is a treasure for this community.
Good stuff, as always, from Johns, Georgia. Now it's time for our career play of the game, presented by the Technical College System of Georgia.
Want to drive a big rig? Learn commercial truck driving for free at the Technical College System of Georgia. Our state's exploding logistics industry needs you. Find a career as a driver, diesel maintenance technician, and more. And keep Georgia moving. A free education in 10 high-demand industries awaits you at the Technical College System of Georgia. Change your life. tcsg.edu.
Matt and Larry have the second half call coming up right after this.
And we'll see you later.
Some questions can't wait until morning. So I'm one of many nurses at Cigna with answers, anytime, day or night. I'm Lauren, and I've got your back.
What is by moonlight an empty field is by the magic of electricity sacred ground. As the official energy provider of the GHSA, Georgia's electric membership cooperatives proudly support our student athletes. We are there, illuminating the glory moments fans just have to see. Capturing the hustle, elevating champions, sharing the win. Georgia's EMCs, empowering our youth, lighting the way.
Today, companies in the aerospace, advanced manufacturing, and film industries need skilled workers. and the earning potential is high. Go Build Georgia can show you where the jobs are and what skills you need to get them. And the Technical College System of Georgia has fast, affordable training for these great paying careers. Build your blueprint for success at GoBuildGeorgia.com and look to the Technical College System of Georgia to put your plan into action.
All this going on and on about how different we all are. Here's an idea. Let's talk about how we're all the same. How we live. How we love. The young. The old. The way we wear our hearts on our sleeves. The way we get up, my friends, and the way we get down. From our back roads all the way to our tree-lined streets, it is on Sunday that we are all the same. Because on Sunday, we are all Falcons.
Rise up. I'm not sick. I'm not sick. I'm not sick.
She's perfectly healthy.
Cigna covers preventive care. That's having your back.
Welcome back to the Georgia Dome, getting ready for the second half of the Class 5A final. Allatoona Glen Academy are scoreless as we head to the third quarter here with Coach Varner of the Bucks. Your defense is playing really well out there to put that goose egg on the board.
Yeah, they're playing as good as they can play. I mean, they've maybe a couple missed assignments, but overall they're playing as good as they can possibly play. Just the offense is just either they're playing that good a defense or our offense ain't playing very well. A little bit of both.
I was going to say, what do you do to get them on track?
We got to block. Someone's got to block somebody. It's a physical football game. You got to block and tackle. We're tackling where we ain't blocking a soul.
All right, well, good luck blocking in the second half.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Send it upstairs. First half highlights with Matt and Larry.
All right, Nelly, he's right. They got to block. 40 yards total rushing for both teams in the first half. 8 pass attempts, 8 punt attempts. Not a lot of offense.
No. This is like Ali Frazier, these two defenses just going back and forth. It's going to come down to maybe a defensive score, a turnover deep in territory right now because, yeah, the offenses aren't getting anything done.
Or maybe something like a weird free kick. That was the closest we came to a score in the first half with 36 seconds left after a fair catch. Glen Academy tried a 49-yard free kick that hit the upright, had the distance, but hit the upright. Rocky Hidalgo said, hey, what the heck, we'll give it a shot. We're not moving the ball any other way. And we are scoreless. The teams have combined 1 for 11 on third down, just 113 total yards of offense from the two teams combined.
And the two things to watch right now, again, you're right, for Allatoona, can you block somebody? Because right now you're not. I mean, the Glen Academy defensive line is all up in Rainey's face. On the other side, DJ Dallas. How healthy is he? He's only run the ball once since getting his bell rung there earlier in the first half, has not thrown a pass since then. So again, how limited will this Glen Academy offense be, depending on how healthy he is? We'll see what happens in the second half, if that play or if his condition has any effect here in the second half.
The one thing, even if he isn't able to run the ball, the one thing he does do is he gives you the threat of that zone read that Allatoona still has to honor. They still have to guard against that. And that might be the only reason he's really staying in there right now if he's not really able to run the ball or pass it. But we'll see what happens. First of all, Allatoona will have the ball to start the third quarter. Non-returnable. So to the 20-yard line, Allatoona will come to start this third quarter. And their quarterback, Brandon Rainey, took 3 sacks in that first half. To Gary Varner's point, they got to block somebody. He was 3 of 5 passing for 29 yards.
Well, they could have had 5 or 6 sacks. And I mean, that's how bad the line blocks for him. They've got to do something to change the scheme up front right there, make something happen, and to give him some time to get the ball to his receivers.
One thing we do know about Brandon Rainey is he is a tough cookie.
Yeah.
He took some shots in that first half, and Gary Varner told us he plays the position like a linebacker. And we saw that in the first half. Brandon Archibald
starts in the backfield begin this third quarter. He played the second quarter. Not much running room for Archibald right there.
Yeah, it's his 5th carry, only 9 yards officially. Again, it's on both sides. The offense has just been slim pickings on both sides.
A team leading 734 yards, and I mean team leading 734 outside of Halliman, who of course is not available because he tore his ACL in the opening round playoff game against Winder-Barrow. Archibald gets the handoff again, and McClinton making the tackle, his 5th of the ball game. And there is Russell Halliman right there in the wheelchair. He's committed to Arizona, 24/7 Sports Composite, 3-star running back, and boy, do they miss him. He averaged 154 yards rushing per game. How they could use him tonight. And there's Turner Cockrell, the 24/7 Sports Composite 3-star tight end, committed to Vandy last July. He fractured his ankle after a 93-yard touchdown catch last week against Northgate. Rainey running and picks up the first down. To my point, he's a tough kid.
Yeah. Boy, how many broken tackles, but he finally got some blocking there out in front. But again, get outside the tackles. Both teams trying to run inside the tackles. There's nothing in there for you. Get it outside, move it around a little bit. You saw Hunter Hall is always right there. He falls down, missed tackle right here, and Rainey, we talked about 3 sacks. He could have had double that, but he's so elusive. Great athlete right there, a quarterback, and they pick up the first down.
Really improved since their season opening loss against East Paulding has led them to 13 consecutive victories. Eels in motion behind the line, and Archibald dances to the outside! Across midfield, Archibald runs for 21 yards to match his number. That's the biggest play of the night for Allatoona.
Yeah, it is, but again, you're trying to get outside, but watch Archibald here. Get some good blocking up front. Watch him pick his way through. Nothing right there. Good block right there by his fullback, number 6, Jalen Parrish. That frees him up to the outside. Stiff arm there. Missed tackle. Another missed tackle. Stays on his feet. Great second effort there by Archibald. But the key is he got out in space. Again, he got away from that ferocious front right now from Glen Academy and made things happen. 2 plays on the outside. 2 big plays for Allatoona.
Pines in motion. They toss now to Anderson. And Charles Anderson flips forward and still on his feet. And a crushing block at the end of the play. But I think that Charles Anderson flipped and landed on his feet and kept going.
Yeah, I think that is. One more look at it coming right at you right here. Watch this and see if his knee ever went down.
No.
It did not. He didn't hear a whistle, and that's the instinct. If you don't hear a whistle, keep going. One more look.
And then watch Carter Francis. Let me have someone to hit here. Watch 66. Boom. Dude just standing around watching, and Carter Francis put him on his back.
Yeah, best drive so far in this game for the Buccaneers.
Another big gainer. Jalen Parrish nearly broken. And Allatoona took Coach Barner's words to heart. They're blocking somebody.
Yeah, they really are. Well, and they're going on that right side of the line that really had problems. It was like a sieve in the first half. They've shored up that side of the line. Watch this right here on the right side. 55 there, comes over. Good block, seals it right there. Great job by 55 Parker Gibbs, the sophomore. Gary Varner's guys on the move right now. First down inside the Terrors 30.
Ball at the 28. Another nice steady run right there by Charles Anderson. And I believe, no, easily, Allatoona has by far gained more yards on this opening drive than they had in the entire first half. They only had 13 yards rushing in the entire first half.
Yeah, and only 42 total yards in the first half. And yeah, they've exceeded this. This started back on the 20 after the touchback.
Yeah, 56 total yards on this drive, and it's 2nd down and 6. Anderson takes the toss again. Anderson runs into his own man. And then a shove at the end of the play. Fortunately, for Glenn Academy. No flag thrown after Pooh Thomas made the tackle. He shoved him down. Sometimes they'll throw a flag on that, so Glenn Academy got lucky.
Yeah, I thought that was a good no call. Pooh Thomas, 3-year starter for Glenn Academy. 3rd and long now, but what a drive by Allatoona. See if they can finish it off here on 3rd down. Keep it going.
3rd down and 6. Archibald back in there for the first time since his 21-yard run. Rainey goes to the far side. Over the shoulder. And that is out of bounds at the 1. Super catch by Deron Garrett. 2nd catch of the night. Goes for 24. And the Bucks have it 1st and goal to go at the 1.
Well, what a way to go right here. Watch this again. Your first pass play of the entire 2nd half. Great job right here. Great concentration. It's just that kind of touch pass that you practice all during the summer, all during practice. One more look at it. Great protection here. You hadn't had that kind of protection the first half, but they're blocking much better. It's a better scheme. Whatever it is up front, they're making it happen. And a 1st and goal for the first time. It's the deepest territory that
Allatoona, their first timeout.
This entire game. Allatoona primed now to strike first in this football game.
Timeout called by the Buccaneers. They have 4 first downs on this drive. They had 3 in the entire first half.
Well, credit the coaching staff with some great adjustments during halftime. You know, it's the same starting 5 along the front lines. They didn't change any personnel. They certainly have changed the scheme and what they're trying to accomplish, because they actually now have had, again, but it sets up again with getting outside. You're not trying to run just inside the tackles, getting the ball outside, left, right. And so now your defense can't just pin back and just run straight up field. They've got to sit back and watch what you're doing, and that's changed the whole complexion of this offense. And as a result, they've driven down 79 yards.
Well, here's a look at the brackets. Allatoona beat Winder Barrow 52-3 in the first round, but lost Halliman in the process. 30-14 second round win over Stars Mill. Houston County shootout, won that one 59-47, then beat Northgate 28-7, but lost Cockrell. Glenn Academy, tight wins 28-22 over Jones County. 2013 at Dalton, 24-21 at Stockbridge, 24-16 against Ware. Right up the middle, and that is a touchdown. Brandon Rainey with his 21st rushing touchdown of the season gives Allatoona a 7-0 lead. He looks like he's limping a little bit as he comes off the field.
Yeah, he sure does. Oh, boy, what a great effort right here by Allatoona, the Buccaneers. What a change. As you mentioned before, only 42 yards of offense the entire first half. They take the opening kickoff after the touchback, and they go 80 yards all the way down. Rainey capping it off with the run. And as you mentioned, the 21st touchdown for him. What a great job by the Buccaneers. Great adjustments now, and they strike pay dirt first.
Brandon Rainey squeezes in behind his center and guard from 1 yard out. Skylar Davis with the PAT. Bucks lead 7-0.
As Georgia's skilled trade industries continue to grow, so does the need for young skilled workers. Position yourself at the front of the line for your next career opportunity within the trades by visiting GoBuildGeorgia.com. Whether you plan to attend a 2-year college, 4-year university, or go straight into the world of work, the Georgia CTAE Work-Based Learning Program teaches students essential career skills through real-world experiences and on-the-job training.
All right, you see they're stretching out that left leg of Brandon Rainey after the touchdown run. Let's check in with John Nelson.
And that's what they're looking at right now, Matt. It is a cramp, and I'm surprised that with the weather being what it is inside and out that we haven't had more of this as a problem. It was some of the coaches earlier today were concerned that cramping might become an issue because of the unseasonably warm temperatures and how it translates to the dome. Rainey and those psychedelic socks are the first example that we've seen all day. But it's the first 7 on the board for Allatoona.
I was getting ready to say he should be okay with the psychedelic socks on.
You know it.
He's got the long sideburns to match. I haven't seen those long sideburns since Welcome Back Cotter.
Well, you're a confident young man when you walk out there in socks like that.
There you go.
But when you score 21 touchdowns and throw for 16 more,
that's right.
You got plenty of confidence.
That's right.
He's led his team here on an 80-yard touchdown drive. It took 10 plays and 5 minutes and 11 seconds off the clock, and now the Buccaneers play with the lead. Skylar Davis ready to kick. Demery and Jernigan deep for Glenn Academy. And Demery from the 1. Slipped and fell down at the 15-yard line. He'll spot it at the 16, and that's where the Buccaneers begin on offense. Let's see what the second half holds for DJ Dallas in this Buccaneers offense. Who couldn't get anything going, especially after Dallas took a shot to the head.
Well, we saw Allatoona make some serious adjustments and really got their offense going. Let's see what Glenn Academy on their offense, what they cooked up at halftime.
Dallas hands off to Hurd, and Hurd batters his way forward to the 21 and picks up 5 on the play. Tackle made by Casey Smith. Hurd with 6 carries for 17 yards in that first half. DJ Dallas 8 carries for 3 yards, 2 of 3 passing for 44 yards. Handoff goes to Hurd, and Hurd picks up 4 more yards up to the 25. You see, they can still keep running that zone read, but the difference is Dallas is not holding onto the ball, not at all.
Yeah, no, it's every time it's a handoff, right?
But you still got to honor.
Exactly.
Hurd again. That's a first down carry, 3 straight carries by Garrison Hurd.
Well, to your point, we saw that earlier. He had several consecutive carries, and again, Dallas hasn't carried the ball since he's only carried it once since that injury. And you expect to see more of the same right here, but to your point, you have to honor him, because if you take your eyes off him, he'll take off.
And DJ Dallas wants to throw. And he's going to take a sack at the 25-yard line. Danny Tesler with the sack. 7.5 sacks on the season for him, and that's the first sack. Make that the second sack for Allatoona tonight.
Well, great job right here. Again, that's the defense that make this happen, though, the secondary. Just a great job. The receiver that he wanted was covered. Couldn't get it to him. Great job by the Allatoona defense.
Second down and 11. DJ Dallas throws, and the ball is out. Let's see if they're going to rule that a catch and a fumble. I believe they're going to rule it a catch and a fumble.
Like
I've not seen an incompletion signal at all. And Glenn Academy was able to get back on top of it, so they take a loss on that play too.
Well, look at it right here. I didn't think he caught the ball.
I didn't either.
Looks like they're trying to say that he did.
Yeah, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a catch.
A great job by Faison Harris right there. That's a pop immediately.
Wow.
Again, high school football, no replay, so credited as a catch.
Third down. Davis scrambling and run out of bounds at the sticks. Well shy of the first down.
Well, again, great job out there by Raleigh Webb. We haven't called his number too much yet. Not many passing plays. He did a great job. Jalen Parrish also out there. Just an outstanding job with the secondary to take away those passing options on an obvious passing down. But so give credit to the Buccaneers defense now. They hold yet again, and another punt now for Glenn Academy.
Banks Entwistle ready to kick, and Eel stands deep for Allatoona. End over end and a line drive kick that Eels takes on a big hop at the 31. And Brady Eels dropped at the 36-yard line, 41-yard kick. And that's where Allatoona, with momentum, now goes back on offense for the second time in this quarter.
Good job right now by Allatoona on both ends. Glenn Academy doesn't score a lot of points right now. They haven't scored, like we mentioned. Every game in the playoffs has been a close victory. Trying to turn the tide here and make a stop here in the Buccaneers.
Brandon Archibald. Pick up a 4 on the play.
Allatoona trying to build on the success of that first drive. You know, in the first half they had 3 plays of 10 yards or more. They had 2 in that first drive alone. So we've already seen them here in this third quarter. They've already doubled the number of yards that they had the entire first half.
Well, they're starting to get a good rhythm here with their alternating of running backs between Anderson and Archibald. They used Archibald in the first quarter, Anderson in the first quarter, Archibald in the second. Here in the third, they've alternated them. And they've run the fullback to Jalen Parrish fumble. And Glenn Academy's on top of it at the 48-yard line. Jalen Parrish, a violent collision near midfield, coughed it up. And Kayshawn Walthour was the one who forced the fumble. And Pooh Thomas got on top of it.
We're going to look at it right here again. Just going to say, boy, another successful. You got to tuck that ball away. Great stick right there. Thomas is right there all over it, falls on it. And we talked before at halftime, it's going to come up to the defense doing something. We saw the Buccaneers offense get it done on the first drive. Now the Glenn Academy defense forces the first turnover in this game. Can the offense capitalize, though? They have not been able to do anything in this game.
Ball in the 48. And the first carry by DJ Dallas, he gets dropped immediately. Kalen Wilkerson, the tackle for loss.
That's the thing right now by Glenn Academy. Again, that's his second carry since early in the game. Coach talked about he's coached more than 20 years. He's just such a special, impressive kid. Special kid, most impressive players he's ever coached. He's struggling right now.
Yep, he has not been the same since taking that shot to the head in the first half. Hurd this time on the keeper, struggles to get back to the line of scrimmage and then gets pushed back violently as flags come out. Michael Robinson, the linebacker, leading the host of tacklers, and Joey Hughes runs off the field with a helmet issue.
Let's see what the flag is. Oh, against the Buccaneers.
That's a tough penalty for Gary Varner's team. They had moving backwards and 3rd and long coming up. That'll be an automatic first down and pushes the ball.
On the defense, 15-yard penalty, results in a first down.
Pushes the ball to the 38-yard line.
Well, I'm not sure. Have they had any play of 15 yards or more?
Well, they had
since the first quarter. They had the
31-yard pass.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
So
and that was on the very first drive.
Yeah, this is their biggest play since DJ Dallas's 31-yard completion to Morris Demery. The 15-yard penalty against Allatoona. Let's see how costly it is. Cross on the run. He fumbled the ball. And Allatoona may have it back. They do at the 36-yard line. And Casey Smith forced the fumble. Danny Tesler came up with it.
And the senior right there. Well, what a turn of events again. Both defenses, we talked about, it's Ali Frazier. It's Tyson Holyfield without the teeth. This is just a couple of guys, a couple of heavyweights go right at it. Great job here, the great strip. Nice job. Opportunistic defense making things happen. It makes up for the turnover on the other side. Momentum certainly shifting toward Allatoona's way right now here in the second half, Matt.
Danny Tesler came up with a loose ball to give the Buccaneers the ball back on offense with 1:54 to play in the quarter. First and 10 from their own 36. Archibald tries to get to the outside and he gets clobbered. Kayshawn Walthour again. And remember, Coach Rocky Hidalgo told us that Walthour had been detonating people since about week 7 of the season. In fact, has been hitting guys so hard he's been getting penalty flags, even though they haven't been illegal hits. He's just hitting them so hard, referees are throwing flags thinking he's done something wrong. And we've seen some big hits. It was his big hit on Parrish on the previous drive that forced the fumble.
Exactly. Well, you can feel the intensity on both sides beginning to, as we get here toward the 1-minute mark of the third quarter. Both teams beginning to get a little more intense, run a little faster, hit a little harder.
Rainey under pressure, throwing across his body, cannot connect at the 46-yard line to an open Brady Eels.
I'd like to have that one back. Look, he says, my bad. He knew he had him wide open for a 30-yard gain at least. One more look at it right here.
But a tough throw against your body, rolling to the left.
Yeah, how about big Trey Singleton right there, number 93. Didn't realize. He looked up, said, oh, wait a minute. I'm unimpeded. There's the quarterback right there, but couldn't catch up to him. Nice effort by Rainey. I like the way this kid plays. Smart, heady player. He's real athletic. He's, as we mentioned before, 3 sacks early on. It could have been easily double that in this game.
3rd down and 12. Heavy rush, Rainey in trouble. Gonna take a sack back at the 18-yard line. Dexter Robinson with his team-leading 14th sack of the season is the 4th sack for the Terrors defense tonight.
And how about Robertson and the big senior? Watch him right here, come right at him. Just again, pushes right through. They can't control him. You know, coach was worried. He kind of got rolled up in practice on Tuesday. Kind of a little bit worried about how healthy he would be. Would he be 100%? He looked real good right there, blowing right by the lineman and getting right in Rainey's face for the big sack.
First time we've called the name of the 6', 255 senior Dexter Robertson. Punt. Gonna hit at the 48 and bounce backwards, 6 yards. And a good bounce for Glenn Academy, and they will take over after a 23-yard kick. They will take over at the Buccaneers' 43-yard line with 9 seconds to play in the third quarter.
First touching. Ball be placed here, first down.
You see the coaching staff, that's offensive coordinator Chase Harp, head coach Rocky Hidalgo, there in the gray, Harp in the black shirt, trying to rally the troops and get something going here. I mean, you know, right now we're almost the end of the third quarter. I'm not sure they have 100 yards out of offense. 100 yards. It's close. Not much, though.
Handoff, Cross. They went right back to Kendall Cross. He's the guy that fumbled the ball on his last carry. They go right back to him on the final play of the third quarter. We played 36 minutes in a war at the Georgia Dome. An old-fashioned slobber knocker, bloody nose battle that Allatoona leads 7-0 as we head to the third. 1 touchdown in this game. It was set up on that pass play to Deron Garrett. And then Brandon Rainey took it in from 1 yard out. That has been our only scoring. But Glenn Academy has it at the Bucks 37 when we.
This program on GPB is made possible in part by supporters of the Georgia High School Association, including the following.
This isn't just any team. This is your home team, okay? It's not about A team or B team. It's not about your boss telling you to be a team player or to take one for the team. No, home team is about pride. It's about standing strong, pulling together, and going crazy about a bad call you know is right. But because it was against your home team, it must be wrong. Look, some people just don't get it because it's not their team. But Farm Bureau Insurance does, because everyone needs a home team for insurance, and we are that.
Hey, great party. Oh, thanks. Here you go. 1 hamburger, medium well. This is well done. No. That's medium well. What? Are you calling me a liar? This thing is practically burned. That's it. You're not gonna come to my house and tell me how to cook a hamburger. I don't grill it for better.
You wouldn't do it there.
Gotta be crazy.
So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
GHSA Football Championship games continue all day, right here, only on GPB.
Game day brings out the best in all of us. Regions, every day is game day.
The Georgia Dome in Atlanta, site of the Tommy Guillebeau Georgia High School Association Football Championships. Tonight, this is the 5A championship between the 12-2 Glenn Academy Red Terrors and the 13-1 Allatoona Buccaneers. Bucks 7-0 lead as we head to the final 12 minutes, but the Red Terrors have it. 2nd down and 5 at the Bucks 37-yard line as we start the 4th. Kendall Cross, the handoff again. He gets tripped up as he crosses the 35-yard line. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and short.
We talked about again how hard it's been now a no-huddle offense. Still not yet to 100 yards.
3rd down and 1. Cross gets the 1st down. He crosses the 30 and down to the 28. And now the Red Terrors from Brunswick, Georgia. Just about as far away from Atlanta as you could be and still be in the state. That was their first 3rd down conversion of the night.
After the play, sportsmanlike on the defense, half the distance to the goal. 1st down.
It's 2 really big penalties on this drive. Coach Varner cannot be happy about that.
Well, the first one kept the drive alive.
Yeah.
Drive would have been dead in all likelihood had they not gotten the first personal foul. And now this unsportsmanlike will put the ball at the 14-yard line.
2 really big plays for it to give an offense life. An offense that struggled this entire game.
Hurd gets the handoff. He gets dropped for a loss. Nothing doing for Garrison Hurd that time as Kalen Wilkerson picks up his 2nd tackle for loss in this game.
This Allatoona defense, great job. Can't say enough again what they've done. Pitching a shutout so far.
I know we're still a long way away from that, but down here, are you in 4-down territory? Are you going for a touchdown here and not a field goal the way this game is unfolding?
Yeah, that's tough. That's a good point.
We'll see what happens. Keeper by Dallas, and he takes a big loss. Wilkerson with the sack. That's the 3rd sack of the night for the Bucks.
We talked before about, again, the blocking scheme up front for Allatoona, but what about Glenn Academy? They've really struggled, and a great job right here. They're not holding their blocks right there. That was just way too easy. He held the ball because he thought his lineman had done the block for him. As soon as he holds on to it and keeps it, they release, thinking that he's handed the ball off to the running back, and they come in the backfield and sack him for a big loss.
3rd 17. To his left, DJ Davis fires and out of bounds. Great play by Raleigh Webb to make sure that Randon Jernigan did not come down with it in fair territory.
Yeah, right here leaves just a little bit too much. Waits for him to clear. It's a nice throw. Boy, he throws a nice pass. But just too far out. Puts his toes down, but good call right there by the referees. Right there on it. They were clearly out of bounds. And let's see right here what they're going to do on 4th down.
Yeah, they got to kick it. I mean, you can't. I mean, your chances of converting on a 4th and 17.
Yeah, not going to happen. You see Coach Hidalgo right there telling him, listen, we'll get it back. We'll get another shot at it right here.
38-yard attempt by Banks Entwistle. Their 2 previous attempts were by August Bowers. So his first attempt of the night, he's 7 for 12 on the season. And this one is no good. And the Red Terrors are still scoreless. You know, I really thought they were probably in 4-down territory down here, the way the game had unfolded. But after taking those 2 big losses, that wasn't even a consideration anymore.
No, I agree with you. If that's a 4th and 4,
they're going for it.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to. But 4th and 17, you're going backwards. What a job by this Allatoona defense. Held Northgate to only 7 points last week. Winder Barrel to 3 points. Round 1 of the playoffs. Pitching a shutout right now. Under 2 minutes to go in the game.
Archibald, he's going to take a loss. And both these defenses, and now a flag comes out. This might be against Allatoona again.
Yeah, I think it might be.
Hunter Hall made that tackle there for loss.
No, it's the other way, it looks like.
It's an unsportsmanlike of some type. Personal foul? No, it's against Allatoona.
Oh.
Yep. Well, they keep giving Glenn Academy chances here.
Yeah, they do.
After the play, personal foul on the offense, half the distance to the goal, 2nd down.
I'm not quite sure what happened. He said it was after the play. It was about 10 yards away from the ball, up here about the 24-yard line.
Second down and 21. Archibald coming to the near side. He's going to run out of room and then get hit by Hunter Hall again.
That was just great pursuit. That whole defensive sequence right there started by number 2 on Glenn Academy, Kendall Cross. He was the one initially that came in with the good speed. He dove and missed, but that forced him to go outside, allow the rest of his defense to catch up. Good job of spreading that out of the defense. And now forcing up a 3rd and very long for Allatoona.
Hunter Hall's just a sophomore. We're going to hear a lot more from this young man in the next couple of years.
Yes, we are.
He is a great pursuit middle linebacker. 3rd and 16. Rainey rolling to his left now, rolling back to his right and throwing. Got a man open, and was that caught? They're going to rule it incomplete. Ball hit the ground. Jacob Perry, who has taken over at tight end with the loss of Turner Cockrell to his fractured ankle, nearly made a spectacular grab, but just nearly. It's 4th down.
Well, again, nice job, athletic job by Rainey to avoid that rush, reverse his field, give himself a chance. Good job by the Glenn Academy defense. The Terrors holding this time, forcing another punt.
Returned there by Kane Cruz, and the ball comes out. And Allatoona on top of it, but they're going to rule that it was down. Rule that it was down, so Glenn Academy dodges a bullet right there and again has good field position. Dare we say great field position with 8:26 to play here in the quarter. So we'll see if this Red Terrors offense can get anything going.
It's been so tough, and it's, you know, you don't want to speculate on the seriousness of an injury, but it seems obvious DJ Dallas just is not the player that we know he usually is. They're going to line up right here, no huddle.
1st and 10 from the 44. Right up the middle goes Garrison Hurd on the play. Picks up a couple of yards on the play. Well, I would think certainly, given their kicking in this ball game, and now less than 8 minutes to play in this game, and how hard yards and points have been to come by in this game, that they're in 4-down territory from here on out.
I agree. And also, it's a running clock. You're not passing the ball, so the clock just continues to run.
Hurd again. Garrison Hurd pulling his way across the 35, and he picks up the 1st down at the 33.
And we'll stop the clock here in high school football while they move the chains. But my point is that, you know, they're not passing the ball, so it's not like an incomplete pass and the clock stops. The clock is just running. So, to your point, Matt, you're exactly right. This is your time now. You've got to go down and try to score a touchdown here, if at all possible.
This game is only 2 hours old.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like a Greg Maddux pitched baseball game.
That's a great analogy. Great point.
As we have less than 7.5 minutes to play in it. Right up the middle, Garrison Hurd down to the 29-yard line. In fact, I don't ever recall in my 18 years of televising live high school football a game this fast.
Yeah, we're usually walking out of here around midnight after late games. And we had an overtime game in our second game, so we got a later start.
2nd down and 7. Hurd takes a jarring hit, holds on to the football, but stopped right at the line of scrimmage by Carson Sorrells. Man, there has been some real heavy hitting going on out there.
Well, watch this, the right side of your screen. You're going to see Wanye Carver coming right there. Wanye Tarver, the senior outside linebacker. He came around the end and was unimpeded. Nobody was there. Made a big tackle behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd and long.
Pass thrown. Nope, held on to. DJ Davis tosses it forward to Hurd. And down at the 25-yard line. Now, it's going to be 4th down.
Wait, he held. I almost thought it was batted back to him.
I thought it was too. Yeah. I thought it was batted back to him.
But he held on to it. Here's a replay. One more look at it right here. Great play to try to, but he holds on to it. Shuffle pass.
So 4th down, and they're going for it from the 24, and a timeout is going to be called by Allatoona.
Timeout. Allatoona.
Well, this might be your game right here. I mean, I don't know that Glenn Academy is going to get a better chance than this.
Yeah.
If they don't get it here, I don't know if they're going to get another shot at it like this. We are down to our final 5:55. Allatoona holding on to a 7-0 lead. Red Terrors.
GHSA Championship is made possible in part by Regions Bank. It's time to expect more. Georgia's Electric Membership Corporation, lighting the way. Technical College System of Georgia, learn more, earn more. Cigna, together all the way. And viewers like you, thank you. The GHSA would like to thank Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance.
Red Terrors have it 4th and 1 at the Allatoona 24-yard line. Matt Stewart, Larry Smith, John Nelson, the GPB Army with you all day here. This is the final game of day number 1. Clinch County and Westminster already state champions today. 4th down. Handoff, Hurd, 1st down. I think so. Let's see what the spot is. Yeah, I'm not so sure now with the spot. He might not have it.
With that spot, he's short. He's got to get to the 23.
He did not get a generous spot. You're right. I think he is short. I thought he had it. The spot is not kind.
It's going to be close. They're going to have to measure. He may be just inches short, Matt.
Let's check in with John Nelson.
I think the eagle eye down here is going to say that they're about a length of the football short. And we're going to get one of our Daryl Miller specials right here.
Yeah, they're short.
Length of the football.
What a job of the Allatoona defense right there. As you mentioned, 5:48 right now. All of a sudden the clock comes into it. But the Buccaneers need to get some first downs here and make something happen. Keep this clock moving. As time becomes a factor. One more look at the replay right here. And holding on, Hurd. Right up the middle, but again,
yeah,
that hole just closed up.
Yeah, that spot was right.
Yeah.
That was a good spot. So Allatoona now has it, and they can kill the clock if they can pick up some first downs. Glenn Academy does have all 3 of their timeouts remaining, so they have that in their back pocket. Allatoona has 1, but more important right now from the way this game is unfolded that Glenn still has those 3 that they can use on defense to try to get the ball back. Don't have to use them just yet. Good solid defense right there, and it's 2nd down and 10.
Use all the play clock they can.
Rainey rolls and throws, and that is complete down the sideline. And a first down at the 45 for Jalen Parrish. A 21-yard completion.
What a great job right there by Rainey again to avoid the rush. Nice job right here. The play action gets it out of there. The missed tackle right there, and Parrish does the rest. Watch the stick right here. Boom! Walter, the big, heavy hitter, but instead he gets licked by Parrish. What a big play by Allatoona. And the most important thing is the clock is running with a fresh set of downs.
And what's really big about that play right there is even if Allatoona doesn't get another first down, they flip the field.
Yep.
Instead of punting and giving Glenn Academy the ball around the 40 or 50, Glenn Academy, if they can even stop them right here, going to have it deep in their own territory. Archibald on the run. Salem with the tackle. He picks up about 7 on that play.
And again, the ball, they tackle him inbounds. The clock continues to run. Like you said, Glenn Academy, all 3 timeouts. What a great job right here. Great effort to stay in bounds on that play by Archibald. Smart play by the senior.
If they give up a first down right here on the next set of downs, Glenn's got to start using timeouts.
Yep, I think that's what the were talking about just then on the Glenn Academy sideline.
First down run for Rainey! All the way down to the 18-yard line. 30-yard gain. That might have been the backbreaker right there.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. Boy, what a great play call right there. We talked about how so little was happening between the tackles. Why wait? What a giant hole right there. Great blocking scheme up in front. And then your point, Matt, you said all night long what a tough kid Rainey is. He carries that defender more than 10 yards, getting inside the 20. And again, the clock continues to run. Allatoona totally in control of this ball game right now. It is up to them if they can finish this off.
First and 10 from the 18-yard line. Archibald gets tripped up right away. And if I'm Glenn Academy, I start using my timeouts, and I think they just used their first right there. No, they did not.
No, they did not, yeah.
I'd be using my timeouts right now. The game's right here. I'd burn a timeout. I'd keep that clock from running. 2nd down and 10. Rainey, same run
play
again, right up the middle, down to the 11. And a timeout now is called by Glenn Academy.
Here we go. That's their first.
I'm out. Glenn Academy.
And what a job here. You know, we've talked to Coach Rocky Hidalgo. He's known Gary Varner for a long time. Obviously, just said his time at Walton High School. He said, you know, as he said in the pregame, I'll be proud of my kids at 10:30 regardless of what happens. We want to win the game, but listen, if we don't win the game, I'm happy for Gary Varner to know how hard he works over there. For Rocky Hidalgo right now, chess match game, 2:33. You've got to make a stop right here on 3rd down.
Well, Rocky Hidalgo was the last Cobb County coach when he was at Walton to get his team to the finals and failed. Allatoona is 2 minutes and 33 seconds away from becoming the first ever Cobb County school to win a state championship. Walton tried it and failed. Harrison tried and failed. McEachern tried and failed. Wheeler, North Cobb, Ackworth all reached the finals going back to 1957. And Gary Varner, in just their 6th year of varsity football in Allatoona, about to end that drought. Unless Glenn Academy can do something big here.
And they call a timeout.
And that's the last timeout for Allatoona.
Timeout. Allatoona, the 3rd and final timeout.
And so the chess match continues. As Coach Hidalgo has told John Nelson at halftime, if you're a defensive-minded coach or fan, you really have loved what this game has given you. It has been smash-mouth football from the beginning. What a job of the Allatoona defense. This Terrors offense from Glenn Academy coming in, averaging 229 rushing yards a game. And they've got about half that on total offense for the entire game. And boy, they've done a great job.
There's no question. This Allatoona defense and the guttiness, tenacity, grittiness of Brandon Rainey, their quarterback, been the storylines tonight. A team that lost their 2 D1 prospects during the playoffs, Russell Halliman and then Turner Cockrell last week. 3rd down and 3. And Rainey takes a loss. Glenn Academy uses their 2nd timeout. Now, if you're Allatoona, do you risk the field goal?
Timeout. Glenn Academy, that's their 2nd charge, timeout.
And what can come with that we have seen on the big stage of college football this year, we saw it in the NFL a couple of Monday nights ago. A kick block and taken back for a touchdown. Yeah. We saw it here in this city a couple of blocks away at Georgia Tech with Florida State and Georgia Tech. We saw it on Monday Night Football. So do you risk the kick?
You know, it's tough. For me, I think I look at it this way. I'll go the other way. If the kick is good, your game's over. You're state champs. So you
absolutely
that's
right.
the other side, but you're right. There's always that risk that something else could happen.
They're going to try to kick it and end the game right here. Skylar Davis, 7 for 8 on the season. A young man, Gary Varner says, is so good, may kick on Sundays. Kick is on its way, and it is good. 29-yard field goal by Skylar Davis, and that just may be the clincher.
May do it. The Academy offense has really struggled all night. Can they get 10 points in 2 minutes? Well, it's going to be tough.
Skylar Davis with what may be the game-clinching field goal. Hopping up and down like a pogo stick as Allatoona has a 10-0 lead and now just 2 minutes and 21 seconds away from a state championship.
We talked about, again, not just this school, again, 8 years in existence, only their 6th year of varsity football, been eligible for the playoffs in every year. Coach Gary Varner there from the beginning, his entire coaching staff there from the beginning. So it's continuity. He talked about the community, Allatoona High School community coming around and embracing the program. The Booster Club president is there. Hadn't had a player involved in the program since year 1, but he's still there to be a part of it. All the coaches there. And several alumni on the sidelines for every single game. 5 or 10 alumni coming back to the program to support and show love to the players. What an exciting time this is that they can close out this final 2:21 of the game.
Skylar Davis, who just kicked the 29-yard field goal, will kick off. Angles the kick to the near sideline, caught by McClinton. And McClinton still on his feet and down at the 42-yard line. So now Gary Varner's team 2 minutes and 12 seconds away. 2 minutes and 12 seconds away for him for his second state title. He was on the sideline as the offensive coordinator when Roswell was the co-state champions in their tie against Peachtree Ridge. The head coach that night was Tim McFarland, who was on this field earlier today and suffered a heartbreaking overtime loss to Westminster in the 3A title game. He and McFarland talked extensively this week. They said, whatever happens, let's make sure we enjoy it. Might not ever happen again. Now Davis setting up the screen for Hurd. And Hurd gets tackled in the open field. Ball is out. And they're going to rule that Hurd was down at the 44. Faison Harris with the open field tackle.
In the end, the clock continues to run right now. This is to Glenn Academy's detriment. That ball moving around, they've lost 15 seconds, 20 seconds.
They try to hook and lateral. And before Jernigan can toss it, he gets swamped at the 47-yard line. Davis takes a sack. Alan Johnson gets him from behind. 4th down.
This Buccaneers defense, boy, they're just all over the place. It's almost like 11 on 13, it feels like sometimes. Glenn Academy. No choice with the timeout here.
Glenn Academy, their 3rd and final timeout.
So they're out of timeouts. 4th down and 4.
Let's check in with John Nelson.
When you talk about Gary Varner, here's a guy who spent 5 years in the Navy. When you ask him about what he did, all he did was handle nuclear weaponry and nuclear facilities on a ship, the USS Truxtun. He refers to himself as Homer Simpson. He drove down on a whim after those 5 years, picked up a job at Pebblebrook. Then went Pebblebrook, Kell, and Roswell before starting the staff at Allatoona. And remember, guys, because of budget cuts at one time in Cobb County, the Allatoona coaching staff, because they didn't have tenure, were on the street looking for work. A lot of teachers lost their jobs. The Allatoona coaching staff came back, and you see where they are right now.
DJ Dallas throws. That's a first down completion, and the Red Terrors keep their season alive. Pass completion to Morris Demery.
Great play by both quarterback and receiver. Watch this. Good rollout right here, trying to get away from the pressure. Demery with a nice throw, nice catch, I should say. Good hands. He gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
Red Terrors still alive at the Allatoona 41. Davis firing, and Jernigan, there was contact. Flag's going to be thrown on Allatoona.
I was was just going to say a moment ago, Matt, that the big thing Allatoona has to be careful of is penalties. They made 2 big penalties and got away with it. Still no points scored on that last drive earlier here in the second half.
Pass interference on the defense, 15 yards from the previous spot, results in a first down.
Pass interference called on Tatum.
Well, at the top of your screen right here, this was pretty obvious. A lot of contact there before the ball got there.
So a 15-yard mark off, and now Glenn Academy has it at the 26-yard line. All they have to do is score, get an onside kick, and score again. That simple. Davis right up the middle. Davis, let's see if he kicked out of bounds. And did he? Yep, he got out of bounds. The 12's down to the 12-yard line with 43 seconds.
That's been his biggest run of the game.
I don't think there's any question that Davis has just not been the same since he took that shot to the helmet in the first half.
But here's a reason why, Matt, that happened is because the defense is thinking pass. And the entire game, the defense has been thinking run. So they just key on him. But again, when you throw the ball, if they haven't done much, things happen. Hey, listen, last game we saw a touchdown and an onside kick. So stranger things have happened. And they recovered the onside kick, I should say. Westminster retired 31-17. Ended up winning in overtime 38-31. And they were all in the final 5 minutes of the fourth quarter in overtime.
I think I said a few moments ago, DJ Davis, DJ Dallas, obviously. And we just haven't been able to see the true DJ Dallas tonight. But that run right there was a little glimpse of what he can do, but he just has not been able to be unleashed tonight because of what happened to him in that first half.
Yeah. And give the Allatoona defense some credit, too, of really just staying in his face.
Please reset the clock for 43 seconds. 43 seconds.
Most of their players will reset the play clock. That's the delay right now to 43 seconds. But that's been a big part, again, that Glenn Academy hasn't gotten the ball really outside the tackles. It's all been right there in the middle, and Allatoona's defense has keyed on that, and it's worked for him.
So now 1st and 15 from the 17. Play action, and Davis throws while being hit. There's more contact, and the little flag is out. Yeah. And this time it's going to be Ronnie Webb who interfered with the pass route.
Yeah, I know Allatoona fans don't like that, but that's another easy one to call. Another 15-yard penalty, another first down.
Pass interference on the defense. Half the distance to the goal.
Yeah, it's not even a 15-yard penalty because it's half the distance to the goal. So 1st and goal to go for the Red Terrors at the 8.5.
Again, you're down to 38 seconds, so you've got to score and score fast.
If you're a Glenn Academy fan, the next play would be preferable.
That's right.
DJ Dallas play gets blown dead again.
He moved again. Yeah, he did it again. That's at least the third time, not the fourth time that he's moved.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty.
There's Demery.
Remains first down.
He shuffles his feet before he takes off, and that time he was in motion, but he's done it at least twice, if not 3 times, before going upfield, and that's hurt him.
So now the ball back at the 14. Heavy rush. Dallas avoids it. Pump fake. Throw. And is it caught? No, it's not. Incomplete. Demery was the intended target. He couldn't hold on to it as DJ Dallas tried to thread the needle. Down to 28 seconds.
Look at it right here, up close to the line of scrimmage. That's a great defensive play, an outstanding play. Faison Harris, the senior. Again, I'm sorry, Matt, part of the big problem in the passing game when Glenn Academy has tried to pass has been the secondary. He has nowhere to throw it to.
Demery didn't drop it. Faison Harris blocked it. You're right, that was a great play for make it 2nd down. Goal from the 13.5. Dallas rolling to his right. Heavy rush, and he gets tripped from behind. Another quarterback sack. Tessler with his second sack. Clock is running. Down to 15, down to 14. This might be the final play. 9 seconds. They spike it. Now it's going to be 4th down, and this will be the final play.
Once again, the secondary for Allatoona. I don't know if we probably won't have time to go back. Way to snapping the ball here, but again, going back to that secondary, he's rolling out for the first time. He had the best protection he's had the entire game, but there was nowhere to throw the ball. Every receiver in the end zone he was looking at had somebody on him. Great defense and a great job of the secondary, sticking to your man, keeping to your assignments, and limiting his options.
Final play of the 5A final in all likelihood. Dallas throws, that's going to be another flag. So it won't be the final play. Clock hits zeros, but that's not the final play. We're going to have an untimed down, or they're going to put more seconds back on the clock, maybe 2 seconds. Either way, Allatoona is going to be the state champions. It's just a matter of do they get the state championship 10-0 or 10-something.
Not sure if I've ever seen 3 pass interference calls.
Pass interference.
That's Jerry Romberg in his locker room after they won in overtime against Blessed Trinity. They had an incredible comeback, down 31-14. They won in overtime 38-31.
So no time on the clock, untimed down.
So this is it. Game is over. It's just a matter of do the Buccaneers get the shutout? It would be just their second shutout of the season. Dallas scrambling, and he is going to score the touchdown. And the final play of the game, and Allatoona is your state champions. Congratulations to Gary Varner. A little bit of a weird way for this one to end, but now the celebration begins.
Look at this, the first Cobb County Public School state championship game. It's the very youthful Allatoona High School, only the 8th year in existence. What a job by Coach Varner and his entire staff.
Amazing game by the Buccaneers as their defense shuts down Glenn Academy and one of the most dynamic athletes in the country in DJ Dallas. And then their quarterback, Brandon Rainey. What a gutsy, gritty, determined performance by him as he took over the game in the second half. And the Allatoona Buccaneers win the state championship with their 2 D1 prospects sidelined with injuries in the playoffs. They still find a way to finish the season on a 14-game winning streak and Cobb County's first ever state championship.
Well, how about the Buccaneers in their last 2 games, in the semifinals against Northgate and this game against Glenn Academy? No points allowed in the third quarter, in the first 3 quarters in either game. They gave up a touchdown each in the fourth quarter. You just can't say enough about the effort, what they've done here. And as you said, on offense, to make it happen, I know they got only 10 points. It was enough, though. But to get it done without your two big star players, there's no question about that.
So a 10-6 win for Allatoona. Gary Varner's team capping a great season. Last year they had a 13-game winning streak. They were stopped in the semifinals by eventual state champion Northside Warner Robins. This year they lose the season opener, then win 14 in a row and do it with a 10-6 victory over Glenn Academy here tonight. Impressive performance, no doubt about it.
It really was. And, the tide turned whenever. Coach Varner doesn't give great speeches in the locker room. We talked about that before the game. He just says, let's go out and be prepared. Let's go out and play. But whatever he did at halftime, the adjustment, that was a difference. I love the mascot right there. That was a difference because, again, only 42 yards total in the first half. But they came out very quickly, took the opening kickoff, 80 yards, for the touchdown that proved to be the game winner in this game and let their defense do the rest. You can't say enough about what this team has done on both sides of the field.
Well, you knew what he told John Nelson was, look, we got to block somebody.
Yep.
They had 27 yards rushing. I think they had 13 yards rushing in the first half, and they had not converted a third down the entire first half. They had 3 first downs in the first half, and they came out of that locker room. So maybe Gary Barnard doesn't make halftime speech, doesn't make pregame speeches. He made a halftime speech because they listened to it, and they came out and blocked, and they were a different offensive team in the second half.
Yeah, and it was a big difference because especially the right side of the line was just a sieve. I mean, we saw the entire game what the Allatoona defense did to Glenn Academy. If you joined us late, it was the same way. Glenn Academy doing that to Allatoona in the first half. But that stopped, and then the smart plays there in the fourth quarter to really milk the clock. Great plays by their quarterback, Brandon Rainey, to just do a couple of very quick quarterback keepers, run the ball up the gut, take it from there. It's just been what a great job. And what a great job again by Glenn Academy in the season they had.
Yeah, Rocky Hidalgo, what a tremendous job he's done at Glenn Academy. A team that has not won the state championship since 1964. They still haven't won a region title since 1972, but he got him to the quarters in his first year, gets him to the state finals in his second year, and he's got DJ Dallas back for his senior year next year.
Exactly, and that right away is worth the prize of gold. You know, it's too bad that the statewide audience, everyone watching around the world online as well, didn't get a chance to see really how special an athlete DJ Dallas is because he really, truly is one of the great special athletes. Already committed to Georgia already, made that switch, playing wide receiver earlier in the year, switched to quarterback to get the ball in his hands more often. He's a special talent. With him at quarterback, who knows what will happen with the Terrors in 2016.
Well, we'll see you tomorrow. We've got the 6A final together, Colquitt County and Roswell. That'll be a lot of fun. For Larry Smith, I'm Matt Stewart. Now down to Mark Harmon in the trophy presentation.
Thank you very much, Matt Stewart. Time now to present the 5A championship trophy. It is a historic moment for Cobb County, but let's turn it over right now to Jay Russell of the GHSA.
On behalf of the Georgia High School Association, it's my honor to congratulate the Allatoona Buccaneers, the 2015 state champions. At this time, I will turn it over to the Georgia Farm Bureau representative to make the trophy presentation.
Coach, on behalf of Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance, congratulations.
Thank you.
Coach, the school was opened in 2008, 6 years of football. How does it feel to hold that trophy?
It feels great. We've been talking about it for 8 years. When the New Year's, this goes for all the alumni. There's a ton of alumni here. It goes for all the administration. We've got a ton of them been here the whole 8 years. It just doesn't even seem real yet, but it's a great feeling.
It is a historic moment. First championship for Cobb County.
Yeah, we're excited about it. We'll take the first one for Allatoona, but we'll take the county too. That's good. Thank you.
All right, let's talk to a couple of your players so they don't stay here. Brandon Rainey, you scored a touchdown today. Talk about what this means to you and your seniors.
I mean, it means the world. We've worked ever since the first week in summer, and all I can say is the defense stepped for us big tonight. They won that game for us.
It was one hard-hitting game, 0-0 at the half, and you guys just kind of got it done.
I mean, there's no words I can describe it. I mean, this is our team. This is what we built on. That's what we want. And
you're holding the championship trophy. What's your feelings right now?
I don't know. I was going to say.
Man, a few words, but it's got to feel good as you look over at your fan base and you have won the state championship.
Yeah, it feels great.
Coach, one final word. Talk about what this means to your fans out there who followed you all season long. 14-1. What an outstanding, historic year.
It means a lot to everyone. You go from week one, we were standing talking to the kids after our first loss of the year to open it up. And we just told them to stay the course. We had a feeling that something special could happen. There's a lot of room for improvement, and they did it. They worked hard. They bought into all the coaches, and I kind of just let it go, so it was awesome.
Well, congratulations on just a fantastic season and a great first championship. Hold that trophy up high for everybody. Congratulations to Allatoona. The Buccaneers have won the championship.